strong finish.
And Allison with a 9.
Okay. Let's see where we are then. And these are two relatively high-ranked seeds. Allison 13, the 13th seed. Anna was 23rd, fought their way through. In fact, Allison with a semi-final win against the number 1 seed, Hannah Summers of the Cumberlands, 131 to 123, a cumulative score. That's the format for fixed pins. Anna beating Isla Mills, also of the Cumberlands, a teammate who was the 3rd seed, 122 to 119. So just confirming the scores from that end. And Hannah Summers ended up getting the bronze. And you were kind of voluntold that you were doing this morning, weren't you?
Oh yes, yeah. I was. I saw my coach. They said, "Oh, come over here," and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what I'm doing now." So.
I do apologise. It's probably the last thing you're expecting if you turned up here on the Sunday morning.
It definitely was, but something new, something interesting.
Allison to shoot first then.
Allison with a 9.
It's going to start maybe getting a little louder over the next few minutes as we get to the closing stages of this gold medal match.
Allison drills a 9.
And there we go, as the volume increases.
Anna with an 8.
Very close coming into this 4th end, just 1 point separating the two.
And Allison with another X.
Allison with an X turns away. She seems suitably satisfied after that.
And Anna shoots a 6.
Fist bump as well to go with it. So it's edging towards Alison Roberts, who is trailing by a point. Does the nerves increase when you know that you've got your team behind, even in the elimination rounds, as opposed to competing as an individual? You say the fun aspect, but is there a little bit more pressure because you're representing your team?
I know for many people it does bring up the nerves. You got your team behind you, but for me it definitely calms me down knowing they're back there supporting me. No matter what happens, they're just cheering me on. So it's definitely an exciting feeling, and it calms my nerves. But I know a lot of people, it can bring them up for them, rile them up a little bit, and make them a little more nervous.
It's going to make it a lot easier, that road trip back for all of them, if they take a bunch of medals with them, but great memories as well. And you'll be involved in 3D, Collegiate 3D in
Yes,
Foley?
I will be.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you there. And what other events have you got between now and September, October?
Well, we originally planned on going to London, but that got canceled the other day. So maybe Metropolis for an ASA, and then just a few shoots back home. But
okay, just trying to keep sharp. But you've got a long summer break coming up. Are you?
Yes.
I say break. Are you working throughout that, or is
oh
it,
yes,
or is it relaxation?
definitely working.
Okay.
Then traveling for archery tournaments, but I'll be ready to be back in August. I do got to give props to these girls because they can't move their sight like I can. So they got to aim off in this wind, and when it picks up, it's tough.
Allison with a 7.
104 plays 109.
Anna with a 20. Allison with a 9-10 possible alignment.
This is getting close. The Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals
Anna with an 8.
from Lansing, Michigan.
And Allison with an 8.
Allison with the 8. And it looks like, I'm trying to look at the scores here. Allison has got that advantage, and looks like it's going to be confirmed. Allison's, who's a twin sister, an older sister, and I think her mum is here involved as well on the judging side, so it's a real family affair for the Roberts family. Confirmation then, Allison Roberts is the gold medal winner. Collegiate Target Nationals 2025. Anna Rush from the Cumberlands will take silver.
Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up for the women's fixed pins from
And
the
Hannah
University of
Summers with the
Cumberland,
bronze.
Anna Rush.
So congratulations to Allison Roberts, is your 2025 champion. Collegiate Target Nationals fixed pins.
From William Perry University, Allison Roberts.
And a gold medal for William Carey University. You can hear the cheers in the background. Great win for Allison. And as you say, Caitlin, the conditions were not easy, and that wind, we are in a stadium. I suspect that the wind is changing directions all the time, and fixed pins, as you say, you're settled, and that's what you've got to go with.
Yeah, you can't, once you start scoring, you can't move it, and it's sometimes the wind's going to switch up on you, and then it's going to be a challenge for them, but they managed to push through it, and it's great.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, one down.
welcome the
We've
judge
got
and
plenty
coaches
more
for
to
the
come
match.
over the next few hours. As we say, we've got individual competition to be followed by mixed teams a little later.
And
And now
please
coming
welcome
into the
athletes
arena, we
to
have the
field
fixed
play.
pins college men, and it's an all University of the Cumberlands affair. With Jaden Taylor, the 5th seed, against Joseph West, the 3rd seed.
On target 1, from University of the Cumberland.
Jaden Taylor on
Taylor.
target 1. Joseph West
And
on
two,
target
also
number
from
2.
University of the Cumberland, Joseph West. Your line judge for the match, Bobby Joe Bordell.
So have you had to compete against a teammate, and how does that work?
At our regional event, me and another open girl, we had to compete against each other, and while you want to win, you also want the best for your teammate, and no matter what, you both come out with a win. So it's challenging, but it's rewarding in the end for both of you.
Well, these guys are all set up for the elements as well. You can see the hoodies underneath the team jerseys. They got the thick boots on as well.
It is most definitely needed today, as of yesterday as well.
So we get set for end number 1. As we remind you, it's cumulative. The points are similar to compound. Joseph West getting us underway on target number 2. Starts with an 8.
Jaden with the plan.
Finding the centre early on.
Joe shoots a 9.
9 for Joe. And how much of this setting for these fixed pins, guys, how much of it is done over on that training field on the practice range, and then can there be any adjustment in the conditions when they walk the 50 meters across here?
I mean, no matter where you are on this field, it's going to be slightly different, but the wind just keeps changing, and they have to keep fighting with it, and it's crazy, but one direction 1 minute and a different direction the next.
Jaden with the 6.
Jaden finishing with a 6. So as those scores suggest, just the fluctuating fortunes in these conditions.
Let's make some noise for these athletes, both from University of the Cumberland.
Well, and it'll be interesting. Both University of the Cumberlands. It's interesting how their own fans, how their own teammates are going to be divided on who to cheer for.
No matter what, though, they're coming out with the win, so it has to be great.
Yeah, both going to get a gold and a silver from this. The awards ceremony last night was held. In fact, they're going to have gold, silver, bronze. Cumberlands. Jackson Ratajak was second seed, got the bronze, 139-133 win against Wyatt Burt of Lindsay Wilson College. So not a bad day then for the Cumberlands in fixed pins. Getting silver and bronze in fixed pins women, and they'll be getting gold, silver and bronze in fixed pins men.
That's pretty impressive overall.
Not a bad sweep.
No, not at all.
Jaden with 21 points and Joseph West with 27. Jaden to shoot first.
So a 6-point gap after that first end.
The wind's definitely picking up for these guys.
It absolutely is, isn't it?
Jaden shoots an 8.
Starts with an 8. He's going to have to land some big arrows. Here's Jaden.
And Joe with an 8.
Just matching him is Joseph. Is there any kind of rivalry within that? In other words, fixed pins are doing well for Cumberlands. Does that motivate the other Cumberlands archers that are compound? We can't have fixed pins taking all the glory.
I feel like it could. I mean, fixed pins are really showing up for Cumberlands, and the other team's got to pull up too and show how they can do the sweep for the team.
Got a great coach, Chris Strebeck, as well, and wonderful program. University of the Cumberlands.
Jaden with a 9.
9 for Jaden to finish there. As we say, a 6-point gap after the first end.
And Joe shoots a 9.
Looking to the heavens. There's Joseph there. A little fist bump with his teammates. So how long have you been involved with archery? Has it been a lifelong passion for you?
It pretty much has. I started competing when I was about 5 or 6,
Wow.
so about 14 years now. So.
Okay. And how difficult has the balance, we mentioned it earlier, how difficult has that balance of study and archery been?
For me, it's never really been too much of a difficult thing. I always loved school, and I've always loved competing archery, so just finding the time in the 24-hour day to do both, and it's been hard, but at the same time it's been rewarding. I get to shoot collegiate now, so it's been so much fun.
And it must be fascinating because you're all one team as archers, but you're all different studies and just different backgrounds, different personalities. What's that like, all coming together, and particularly with a road trip like this? And as you say, you've got a long journey back. plenty of time to bond. How important is that within the sport of archery?
Oh, it's most definitely important. We're like one big family, and our team's just growing, and it's just adding to the family. We all have fun with it. We're all, no matter what, outside of classes, we're hanging out with each other, and it's just a great time always.
Because it's an individual sport in the main.
Yes.
So again, I imagine that's what makes the team event and the mixed team events so much more enjoyable because, as I say, most of the time the sport is, you can be quite isolated. You're competing against yourself and the opponent. So those team events brings it all together.
It definitely does. It's great to have your team behind you, riled up, just yelling for you, cheering you on. But individual can be very, very lonely by yourself.
Can be a lonely place. 8 points now, the difference between these two archers from University of the Cumberlands, the fixed pins collegiate men. Joseph just waiting a little longer. Normally hits around the 6-second mark. That got down to almost 4 seconds.
The timing of it is so important. Just holding a little bit longer, too, even with this wind, can just make the shot different.
I was going to say the wind has kind of died down a little, but I think it's just the fact that it's not blowing in our faces. It's still pretty active out there.
Oh, the flags are going. They're definitely flying, but I think it's the wind's not in our face now.
And we talk about it all the time. Over the last few days even, these archers have been competing alongside one another out on an open field and for the main part, operating in isolation. They've not had the focus that they've got now with their teammates behind them and in this stadium feel on this finals field. And again, that must add to a little bit of the tension. You've got a greater focus on your performance.
All attention's on you now from every team, just looking at you. So it's definitely a little more tense.
Is there any way that you as a team, are you able to practice that before you come in to the event? I mean, do you practice pressure situations? Did you practice, that intensity that you were going to get when you got here?
We always try to, but it's always different when you're there and it's just you and your teammates compared to here when you have all the eyes on you, the big stage, sitting here in the field with just two of you shooting. It's just completely different. It's never as nerve-wracking as when you're just here. So you try, but you can't recreate this until you're in the moment.
And of course the weather, you can't predict that either.
No, you cannot.
The end of end number 3. And the gap remains 8 points, 79 to Joseph, 71 for Jaden.
And on target 2, Joe with 79. Jaden to shoot first.
End number 4.
9 points.
9 for Jaden. He's got to start to try and eat into that deficit.
Joe with the 7.
He's picked up 2 points. The gap is now 6. This would be quite the turnaround.
Jaden with another 9.
Another 9. So maybe just turning the screw a little bit on his teammate.
Joe shoots a 9.
Okay, Joseph responds. 6 points remains the difference.
And Jaden with an 8.
9, 9, 8 for Jaden. 7 and 9 for Joseph. matched it with an 8. So he's picked up 2 points as Jaden. 6 points will be the difference going into the final end. It might be just too much to ask.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for these athletes.
Seeing a bit of blue sky as well. Look at that, which is nice. I'm not sure we saw much of that yesterday, did we?
No, we did not. When the sun came out, everyone was like, whoa, what's this? And everyone was so happy. And then it went away a couple seconds later.
Yeah, it was difficult conditions for the Archers yesterday. Barebow coming up after this, and then we'll be into compound and finishing off with recurve for the individual gold medal matches before we'll take a short break and then back with mixed team competition, which should be even more lively. That certainly the team competition yesterday afternoon, that was fantastic. It was from one end of the range, one end of the field to the other. You could hear the different chants and, as you say, cowbells and all sorts of noise that was going on. It was difficult to keep track of everything that was happening on the field yesterday afternoon.
Go to shoot first.
103 to 97.
Go with an 8.
8. Jaden's got to try and better that if he's going to put some pressure on his opponent.
Jaden with a 10.
And he does so with a 10. The gap is now 4 points. As I said, this could be quite the turnaround.
Go with another 8.
Another 8. So if Jaden lands another 10, it's game on.
Jaden with a 9.
A 9, so it's 3 points the difference. We've got 2 or 3 layers and blankets and
Go with a 10.
a 10, so that's a pump of the fist. He needed that one.
And Jaden finishes with an 8.
An 8, so
Let's
it's
make some noise for
back
the
to
athletes.
5 points and success and victory for Joseph West, University of the Cumberlands. Got to within 3 points and wasn't to be. That comeback denied by Joseph West to close the door on his teammate Jaden Taylor, who'll finish with the silver. But it will be gold, silver, bronze for University of the Cumberlands. The champion for 2025, the Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals, University of the Cumberlands, Joseph West. Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us for Fixed Pins. How was that as an experience then?
It was definitely,
Yeah,
it was a good experience.
You survived it. You
I
survived
did.
it. So thank you very much. What you've got your teammate Carly Ellsworth is coming up. What can we expect from Carly?
Oh, I hope she does well. She does well under pressure, so I'm just hoping the best for her. We're happy for her no matter what happens.
And that's coming up in the next match. So Caitlin Oswald, thank you so much and all the best for the summer. And we look forward to seeing you in Foley for
Thank you for having me.
3D.
This was so much fun.
Thank you so much. It's Caitlin Oswald there from Muskingum University. And we're just waiting for targets to be replaced. A reminder, we are here for the next few hours. The individual gold medal matches at the 2025 Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals got underway on Thursday with official practice and opening ceremony Friday with qualifications. And we've got a fella from the Cumberlands who's joining us alongside us. I was going to say good afternoon. There's me wishing the morning away. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good. You're going to have to introduce yourself to the viewers.
My name is Tyler Woosley, and I'm a senior at University of the Cumberlands.
I mean, you guys, gold, silver, bronze for the men.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, what do you get? Silver and bronze for the women fixed pins. It's been a good morning so far. What are you expecting coming up from Kennedy in the barebow women?
Well, I mean, if Kennedy just sticks the way that she's been shooting, I feel like that she's got a really good chance, as well as her competitor here. I mean, they're both good shooters, and I feel like they're really going to put up a good match.
University of the Cumberlands represented by Kennedy Sumter, Muskingum University, Carly Ellsworth. They'll be coming up in barebow women shortly. And your discipline, what is it you shoot?
I shoot barebow as well.
Okay, all right. So you'll be well suited with all of this. How's the week been for you?
I had a little bit of a rough start. I mean, the wind and everything, I just wasn't suited for it. You know, didn't get some good shots on, but you know, it's part of it. I mean, this is a collegiate outdoor, and I mean, sometimes you're prepared for it, sometimes you're not. So you just got to go back and forth on everything.
And so you're closing out your collegiate career a little bit, aren't you, over the next few weeks? Are you?
Yeah. So this was actually my last tournament that I competed in at UC. So.
And what has collegiate archery life been for you?
It's been pretty entertaining. I've enjoyed it a lot. I definitely made some good memories and everything else. There's nothing that I regret. I was a little hesitant on coming to school after I graduated high school, so once I came here, I felt like it was a good fit for me.
And what next? The big wide world.
Yeah, everybody's asking me what next. To be honest, I mean, I'm just going to wherever it takes me. I mean, I don't have anything specific in mind or anything like that. It's basically just whatever I find best that I enjoy the most, just go for it and hope that it works out better for me.
And continuing the archery journey as well?
Yeah, I'm going to step back for a little bit, which I've been shooting for, I think it's about 13 years now. So I'm going to step back for a little bit, take some little time, get everything figured out for my life, and then maybe try to continue pursuing it and see where it takes me.
What about highlights? Collegiate archery, what's been the highlight for you?
Highlight for me is just this team, really. I mean, this team, it's basically like a big family. Like our motto at our school is one big team, and I really feel like that this team has really opened up a lot of stuff and opportunities for me. So I've really enjoyed it a lot.
3D or target nationals? Collegiate, you get a little bit of everything with all of those.
Yeah, you definitely get a little bit of everything. For me, it was indoor. Indoor was my favorite one out of all of them, just because I was a NAS shooter coming into this, and I've always enjoyed indoor and everything else. So it's basically hit and miss on everything. I've learned new opportunities and everything, and just hope for the best.
Fantastic. Well, we're just about to get underway here for the barebow women. Kennedy against Carly, stepping into the arena. The coach is coming in first. A big smile on the face of Carly Ellsworth. And Kennedy is another one that's obviously been on the collegiate scene a little while, and she always seems to have a big smile on her face.
Yeah, she's really happy. I don't think she's ever had an outdoor individual podium, so this is a really big moment for her. So she's really taking every bit of it in that she can.
And so what is that conversation last night? Because there's a lot of experience, a lot of podiums within University of Cumberland's. Any words of advice for her coming into this one, just how to settle her nerves, how to be prepared? And
I mean, honestly, Kennedy's her own person. Whenever she goes up there and shoots, she just tries to focus on everything that she's learned and everything that she's figured out. Her main thing is pull through her shot and just hold it and take her time and not worry about anything else but making a good shot.
Well, we are just about to get underway. It'll be Kennedy to start. Starter with an 8. Well, if there's any talk of any nerves, so that's a solid start.
She definitely knows when to lock in, I'll tell you that.
We've got issues with the clock, I think. Archer's being asked to step away from the line. Well, if there are any nerves, that's probably not going to help, is it?
No, I feel like they're both like having a little bit of nerves right now after the clock issue. I'd say the wind too definitely ain't helping a little bit of that.
Yeah. So what's the week been like for you then? The last few days, and I mean competition, but also, and it's not something I asked Caitlin previously, but what is life like for you guys in between competition? I imagine there's a huge amount of bonding and camaraderie goes on.
We definitely have a lot of bonding moments. I know like our classes ended about 2.5 weeks ago, and we basically just been doing activities around school trying to keep us busy, like kickball, wiffle ball, everything. Just trying to build a closer team together, represent whenever we come here to a tournament every time.
No, it's fantastic. And as I say, you guys always travel in big numbers. You got Chris, the coach, who's a larger-than-life character as well, and I know gets you guys highly motivated, which is fantastic. A wonderful program that you guys have.
Yeah, we definitely got a good program, and Chris Trebek, he's a great coach. I mean, I couldn't really ask much more from him.
Is it going to be tough? Has it been tough the last few weeks, knowing that the door is closing on your collegiate life and collegiate archery?
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't settled in yet. Like yesterday, we had a good team conversation with everybody, and we got a little upset here and there, some of us seniors, because it started setting in that it was getting close to the end. But for me, it's just I'm trying to hold off on all the emotions until the tournament's over, so that way we can put all of our heart and everything into it.
And the jerseys you get to keep, I mean, do these jerseys that have you got 4 years worth of collection, different designs, and
yeah, we
get a few of those framed?
Yeah, we got a couple different designs. We don't typically keep our jerseys, but Trebek's got something planned for us to where he's going to give us an opportunity for it or something like that. He hasn't went too much in detail. He's kind of making it a surprise towards the end of the time.
A nice surprise, we hope.
Yeah. We hope it's a nice surprise. We're going to say that it is for right now.
Okay.
For target 2, Muskingum University.
Trying to rally the crowd here, Muskingum and University of the Cumberlands. Kennedy looking across to her teammates in the crowd, letting out a big smile, and that's got to help as well. As I was saying to Caitlin, it's very much an individual sport, but on occasions like this, with the team behind you, how different is that? Because, as I say, there's much of this sport you're operating solo.
Yeah, I mean, having the team support that you want to have whenever you're shooting in this, I feel like really helps it, because it helps keep your mind off of what you're actually here for, but at the same time, it keeps your mind on it, because you're competing for yourself because you want to do good for yourself, but you're also wanting to represent your team.
Well, here we are then, the first of the barebow gold medal matches. Kennedy taking a 2-0 lead. It's the set system, similar to recurve. Compound and fixed pins, the cumulative score. Just in case you're wondering why it's a different score on the scoreboard down at the far end. So Carly trailing after that first set. Will shoot first in end number 2. And has it always been barebow for you?
Yeah, it's always been barebow for me. Whenever I was coming into school, I was thinking a little bit about recurve, but I sat down with the coaches, Trebek and Kirby, and we had a little bit of talk about which would be better suited for me, which I shot NAS, so going from NAS to barebow felt like the best fit, and honestly, I don't have any regrets about it.
Fantastic. Yeah, and it's, as I say, a great crowd. There's much said about the barebow community, and they are a great bunch. And are you leaving the program in good health, and barebow in good health? Is some quality coming through the program?
Yeah, I'm not really sure who we have coming in next year or anything else, but I have faith in Trebek. He's always been good at recruiting and figuring out the best team players that we have, because Trebek looks more into not just your talent, but also like your team bonding experiences, seeing if you're like a good fit, making sure that you can fit in well. And if you can't, then the rest of the team is there to help you get better suited in.
Well, that was end number 2. coming up after this, we've got barebow men. And, just let you know who's coming up in that one. Texas A&M and Union Commonwealth University. Kyle Coffey, who's a familiar figure at this stage of competition. I think, trying to remember if he got gold last year. I think he may have done. I think he may be looking for a three-peat. Kyle, chatting to him yesterday. And Trapper from Texas A&M University.
Kennedy's company leading with 4 set points to 0.
So Kennedy leading 4-0. Some work to do then for Carly Ellsworth, Muskingum University. I mean, how big a deal would this be?
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a pretty emotional aspect of it.
She's keeping it under wraps at the moment. A 9 to start for Carly.
And Kennedy with 6.
4-0 down, but still opportunity to get back into it with a strong
Possibly an 8.
third end. Possibly an 8.
And Kennedy with a 7.
7 for Kennedy. And where is Kennedy in her collegiate life?
She's actually going into being a senior this year. She was a senior as well with me, but she chose to stick it out and maybe do a little bit more classes, get a little bit further than I was. So she's going to be here for another year, and I think next year will be it for her.
So in other words, it's if you know a podium finish here, it's come a little later in other words, you know,
Yeah,
it's one of those where she's had to be patient and she's had to wait, and so as you say, the emotion could be there. She's just trying to keep it all in check. It's looks like it's going to be 4-2.
Yeah, Kennedy, she's gonna try to just stay locked in right now. You know, just try to shoot her shot, make the best shots possible, deal through the wind a little bit.
No, 6. No, she's won it. She's taken it. She's done enough.
Let's hear it for our second place runner-up finisher for the Bear
As I was saying, she was staying locked in right there, and now the emotions are kicking in for her.
That is wonderful. Kennedy Sumter. The tears are flowing there, tears of joy. And it's they're struggling to control their emotions. And wonderful performance from Carly Ellsworth as well. Fantastic. A silver medal for her, but Kennedy, wonderful performance. And the celebrations can begin. As you said, it would be emotional. It really was. And the coach behind, who was that? Who was behind Kennedy?
That was Micah McDavid. She's from my hometown, and she's also a barebow shooter. So she's been there for Kennedy as long as I have, and us as a barebow team together, I feel like, you know, there's just a strong connection there for everybody.
Well, we're going to have a little break. We're going to have to some technical issues on this end, but we are going to correct them. But we will be back for the action shortly. We're going to restart the broadcast, so don't go too far. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back to the 2025 Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome the players and coaches for the next match.
Welcome back to Lansing, Michigan Collegiate Target Nationals 2025. And here we are for the barebow men's competition. Our apologies. We're away for a few moments, but we are back. Texas A&M University. Trapper Feuerbacher. And Union Commonwealth University, Kyle Coffey.
From Union Commonwealth University, Kyle Coffey. Your line judge for the match, Bobby Joe Bordell.
Texas A&M in fine voice behind us.
Definitely.
And you guys have got, there's a little bit of rivalry there. Obviously two big schools, and you've gone back and forth for the overall championship over the last few years.
Yeah, we definitely go back and forth. We've had our run-ins, so this is not a first for us, I'd say.
And it's not a first for Kyle Coffey either as he steps to the line. I was chatting to him yesterday, and I remember talking to him a few years back and going into education, going to become a teacher, and teaching is in his family. He's got one more year of college life. And that must be a massive advantage. You've been here before, and there's that sense of knowing what to expect. I'm not sure.
And
Trapper looking to start strong. He's got Trenton Cowles behind him, so he's got some experience in his corner. Well, if you can look behind us, it's a wonderful sight. It's everybody is on their feet.
Yeah, everybody's definitely on their feet. They're definitely ready for this matchup that they going on here.
Trapper shoots the 5.
Again, it's the set system. So even if you have that little hiccup in one of the sets, there's still time to turn things around. A pat on the shoulder from Trenton Cowles, another of those athletes to have hot-footed it from China to make it here for Collegiate Target Nationals.
Let's hear it for Target 2, Union Commonwealth University.
So what's the journey back like for you guys? You've got a bus journey.
Yeah, we took a charter bus here, and we basically go through Detroit. I think it took us about 8.5, 9 hours to get here, with that stopping and 8 in between. So it wasn't too bad. We basically just try to keep rolling and get back as soon as possible.
You see, I've been in the States for a number of years. I still can't get my head around the fact that you say that's okay, just 8.5 hours. You know, that's not bad.
Yeah, well, I've got about 4 years riding on a charter bus, so I've had my ups and downs with all of them.
And I try and put it into a comparison for me traveling 8.5 hours from my homeland. I'd have been somewhere like Romania.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So it kind of puts it in perspective, and how vast this wonderful country is. So Kyle taking the lead after the first end. Much improved there from Trapper. Okay, matching scores then after the first hour of the second end. Okay, he's getting into the groove now as Trapper. I imagine he's kind of riding on this crest of the wave from his teammates behind us. Strong shooting there from Trapper. Oh, Kyle just eases into that one. Nice and relaxed from Kyle Coffey.
Yeah, as you said, Kyle Coffey, this is not his first run-in. I've had a couple shoot-offs against him myself, so I know once he gets up there and steps on that line, he just blocks everything out, and he just tries his best and does what he can.
Yeah, and it's almost kind of disarming because he's very jovial, he's very kind of, but it's that fixed glaze when he gets on the line. It's game time.
Yeah, he's definitely he's laid back. and he's always laughing, he's always smiling, and once he steps onto that line, he just locks in, and you don't see no emotions out of him, and him shooting his bow, it really shows.
Well, we have got a contest here because Trapper seemed to kind of get into the groove a little bit there. He looks across to his teammates with a big smile. But it's a 4-0 advantage for Kyle Coffey. And while it's all smiles for Trapper, it's all business for Kyle. But it was a much better second end for the man from Texas A&M. How much of it was part of the plan, was part of that drive to regain the overall team championship this year?
It was really strong. Last year we fell a little bit short, and I feel like this year the team really locked in. We're trying our best. We're just hoping for a better outcome than last year.
I know last year was a little truncated. We had the weather in Statesboro, Georgia that came and closed things out a little earlier, but it went the way of Texas A&M 12 months ago. You guys had won it the previous 2 years. And it's always nice to share, but I imagine you want it back.
Yeah, we definitely want it back. I mean, coming into this tournament, you know, as you said yourselves, we're definitely two rival schools coming into this tournament. So, I mean, hats off to them. They do put on a good show and everything else, and they do put in the effort that they need. And we try to just match that effort and take it down to basically like what we going on here.
And Kyle Coffey looks like he's wrapped it up. Once again, Kyle Coffey, the champion, just too strong in the barebow division. The 2025 Hotel Planet Collegiate Target Nationals. The barebow champion is Kyle Coffey, raising the bow, gets his photograph. But a great performance again, though, from Trapper. He'll learn from that experience. It's a tough opponent against Kyle. And he will walk away with the silver medal.
I believe he's coming in as a freshman too, so he definitely did a good job out here today.
No, that was fantastic, and there'll be he will have his moment once again. There we go. Turns to the crowd. Silver medal he will walk away with as we finish off the barebow division, and that's your day done. Well, with me anyway.
Yep,
but
with you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
And,
it was a pleasure having me on here.
And whatever comes next, I really wish you all the best.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. There we have heading off into the distance. I think we're going to have Trenton Cowles is going to step into the booth very, very shortly as we move into the compound division, and with the familiar face of Carson Cray is coming in from Texas A&M. So stepping from the coach's booth to the commentary booth, Trenton, good morning.
Good morning.
And how was that for Trapper? And we were talking. I believe he's a freshman.
Oh, he is a freshman, true freshman here at A&M. He's been putting in the work, training hard with us every single day. He shot fantastic all weekend, and I mean, to walk away with silver is phenomenal achievement for him. I'm super proud of him. He's worked really hard to get here.
And I mean, Kyle is a fantastic competitor as well, though, isn't he? Kyle Coffey.
Yeah, he's been on this final stage more times than I can probably count. He's one of the staples of this sport, and he's always here, and never count him out in the barebow division.
And I think this might be the first Cumberlands versus Texas A&M gold medal match we've had today. Great rivalry. Carson is pretty strong.
She just did really well at the World Cup. We just came and she got silver there. That was a roller coaster of a World Cup match, and now she's here in the gold medal match at Collegiate Nationals, and hopefully she can walk away with gold.
Up against Lainey Nish of University of the Cumberlands, and they will be wandering into the arena very, very soon just to get us started in the compound division. And this again is similar to fixed pins. It's cumulative.
50 meters on an 80 centimeter target. Alternating shooting here.
And what was your experience in Shanghai? You were telling us that the conditions were tricky.
Conditions were tricky and not tricky. I mean, you really had to watch the flags. The wind was sometimes it'd be blowing you one way, and sometimes you wouldn't be aiming off, and you had to pay attention to arrow to arrow. I mean, it's very similar to the conditions we have here. Here's a little bit more windy, but it's a little bit more of a consistent read here. It's a lot more right to left here. You're going to be picking your spot, going with it a lot more versus every single arrow of finding a new spot. But and you can hear all the colleges cheering here.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, you perform on the world stage as well, internationally. There's something special about Collegiate.
Oh,
though, isn't
absolutely. The cheering here, everyone's a team, everyone's pushing each other. You can hear it. Every single arrow that's shot, everyone's rooting for someone to do the best they can.
Well, Carson has got Vanu behind today, and
He's been shooting absolutely fantastic all weekend as well.
he was telling me yesterday he's got a national record, collegiate record.
Yeah.
And he was quite happy with the fact that nobody beat his barebow record that he got last year.
Yeah, he shot the national record in barebow last year, came out this year, and then beat my record by 1 point at this tournament.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed last year because I believe it was late notice. He was.
Okay, first arrow, a little bit left. That seems to be the trend here on this field with that right to left wind, just not aiming it off enough on your first arrow. Okay, that's the first arrow I've seen hit to the right as a first arrow of a match. That might just come from experience, come with confidence, just knowing that you can aim off a little bit more.
Two 9s for Carson to start, 2 8s for Laney.
Okay, so a 2-point gap. Yeah, as you can tell, they're all to the left here, and that could be due to that right to left wind.
And Carson with another 9.
4-point gap there. Is that right?
Yeah,
My
if it's
math?
a 999 27 to 887 23.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be 5 ends of 3 arrows, 15 arrows total for a match. So plenty of arrows left for things to go back and forth, especially in a windy day like this. You just have to be completely confident in your aim off spot. Shoot every arrow with confidence.
Has it been? We were sitting here, and obviously we got the windsock in the distance, but we were trying to figure out where the wind was blowing based upon where it was hitting us on our body. But you were saying it's been pretty consistent right to left, has it?
Yeah, I mean, I walked down this field in the morning just to kind of get a gauge of it. I'm going to be coaching some of the boxes and the teams today just to kind of give them a whereabouts of how the field is kind of portraying it. I mean, if you look at all the wind flags all across the field, it's right to left, right to left, right to left. And as you walk down to the targets on the practice range, you can feel it pretty consistently. So it's a pretty good gauge onto what's going to be on this finals field.
So Laney will get us underway on this second end, trailing by 4 points to Carson Cray. And Carson is very unassuming in the sense that, she goes about her business. And the performance last week in China, where she was only 1 point off of the gold medal tally. A fabulous, fabulous display from Carson last week.
And it looks like Carson's arrow was actually upgraded. So she had a 28 that first end. That first arrow is a little bit to the right, so it seems she's found her range of where she can aim off. That should give her some confidence in these next couple arrows.
Okay, Laney
dialed in there, found the middle.
Carson with a 9.
Just solid from Carson.
Holding gold at this point. You can see a little bit of the shake.
I think Carson's been close. I think Madison Cox, who'll be joining us a little later, I think she was gold medal winner.
And Carson with another 10.
And Carson, as you say, is dialed in.
It seems to be a 29, if I can recall correctly.
That'll be 57 then for Carson. And Venu loves it, doesn't he? He loves playing to the
putting on a
crowd.
show.
He does love to
He's-
put on the show. And as I say, I remember last year with Bearbo, he was only given quite short notice, if I remember.
I think 2 weeks to practice, get
2
ready
weeks.
for that division.
And then he got the title, and he was like, "This is easy." I
oh, don't be saying that. But I mean,
exactly. Well, and he was saying it very much tongue in cheek, and because I know there were other Bearbo archers that were in earshot, and they were like, "Oh, you know." But
I
he
mean,
was.
but when you can prove it, I mean, you can talk the talk. If you
Yeah.
shot the national record, then pretty much one teams and one individual. So
Yeah, I think
and
it
then a
was.
silver in mixed teams.
It was some Bearbo banter, I think.
And then this year with the national record, I mean, he went back to recurve because there was World University Game trials. So, I mean, the recurve team fielded was an all recurve team. Myself, Venu, and Alex Gilliam. Oh my goodness! Look at the stage blowing away
Yeah.
here. That shows you just the strength of this wind.
And they're held down
Actual
as well.
timing clock has fallen down. There's
Yeah.
going to be a little delay. That's due to the strength of the wind that these archers are shooting in, and the performance they're putting in this wind is absolutely incredible.
And they've got weights holding those down as well, so it's taken something to lift those up. So we are going to have a slight delay here.
So it seems after 6 arrows, there's a 7-point gap between the two archers. 57, 50.
And what are these? If you have to go through a delay like this, what is it? Does it help the person in front? Does it help the person trailing to kind of just refocus?
It really depends. I mean, you're going to go back there, talk to your coach, keep it loose, keep it going, getting ready to just shoot your arrows. I mean, it really depends on where your focus is. And, I mean, at this level, you're getting to this gold medal match. Both of these archers know how to shoot it in the middle. So, I mean, it's going to come down to who's more mentally prepared in this match and the rest of the matches today. And if the coach can keep them in that mental space. You can see Venu talking to Carson, Danielle talking to her athlete here. I mean, getting them in the zone, fist bumps there, fist pumps in the air. It's both these archers seem ready for this third set here.
I think we're going to go with just the clocks in place. Might just have to wait
For all
to
the
get those
sponsorship
the
banners.
sponsorship banners. Unfortunately, are going to have to. I'll try and reposition those. Maybe at in between matches. So something I've asked all the others, but where are you in your education journey? Where are you in your collegiate journey?
So I've already graduated from my undergraduate degree, now pursuing a master's in mechanical engineering. I've got one more year left, going to graduate in May of 26. And then from there on, hopefully either RA, workforce, see where life takes me. Still goal is ultimately LA 2028. But yeah, I mean, collegiate journey for me, I've done 5 years. As a recurve team, we've won 5 golds, and I'm really happy to be a part of this team, build this culture up, and kind of see what we can do here as a team.
What's the highlight been for you personally on that collegiate archery journey?
Oh, there's a ton of highlights. I mean, this, making World University Games, that's definitely a highlight. I mean, the first year when I won, that's a highlight. There's been
Carson with the catch.
mixed team wins, highlight, everything. I mean, it's just an
There's been a
enjoyable.
lot. You've had a lot to cram in as well in these last 5 years.
Loney with the 6.
That one dropping away for Laney, but Carson continues to pile on the pressure. Just dropped to 10. Where's this one going?
Carson with a 9.
Keeping it in the golds here.
Loney with a 10.
That looked like a good recovery shot there. Good solid shot. Now let's see what Carson can fight back with.
Carson with another 10.
Another
And
10 for Carson.
Carson
Yeah.
is super dialed right now.
Yeah, Laney was just leaning there on the bow, and I think she was probably thinking back to that second arrow, which I believe landed in the 6th. As Carson increases her advantage.
Especially in this wind, it just takes a little second to just lose focus here, lose your aiming spot, and then it's hasta la vista. You don't know where that arrow's going to go.
And what's the journey back for you guys? Again, you know, Cumberland's have got a trek, and Muskingum, and most of the archers. How do you guys get back, and what does that journey look like?
In terms of how do we get back to the university?
Yeah, I mean,
Travel for me here was a long travel. I mean, plane from China to San Francisco to Houston, and then pack up my stuff in a couple hours and then get on the bus for 24 hours.
Wow.
I mean, we're going to finish up here and then grab on the bus and 24 hours straight back to Texas.
Goodness me. When was the last time you slept in your own bed? That's it'll be a couple of weeks. You're on the road in different countries and different tournaments.
Absolutely. I mean, time changes. I mean, Texas to here is an hour time change, so they're an hour behind there.
10 points the difference then.
76 to 86 out of a maximum score of 90.
In these conditions.
That was a great shot, it looks like.
Carson going for gold.
Carson with a 9.
It's a case of with a 10-point lead, nothing silly.
Just keep it clean, keep shooting your shot, running your process. She's a phenomenal archer. She knows how to do it. I mean, at this point, there's 4 arrows left. Carson's got 5. Got to shoot this arrow. You can see a couple little bobbles there with the wind picking up. Still catches a 9 here. I
And she got the chance for mixed team gold a little later with Sawyer Sullivan.
mean, yeah, you just saw Carson shake her head. She's like, wow, that was interesting shot. My bow is bobbling all over the place, I'm assuming is what she's telling Venu.
Laney with another 9.
That looked like a solid shot. Ooh.
1-8.
Looks like it drifted a little bit more in the wind there than I would have thought. To the left.
What is the difference at this level, the top collegiate level? And we see Carson is kind of 9s and 10s, occasionally. Obviously, Laney is dipping. Is it just down to consistency? Because on their day, any of these can put in the big scores.
Yeah, I mean, consistency and then just tournament hardened. I mean, Carson literally was at a World Cup shooting against the world's best, and now she's back home on home soil representing A&M. So, I mean, she's been put under the top pressures in the world. She's been used to it, so it's a little bit different of an experience. I mean, here you're for a team. Obviously, you're going individual, but, I mean, the end goal is we want to win as a college and university. So, I mean, practice.
Yeah.
Practice. I mean, that's what she's doing. She's traveling the world, shooting all the USATs. She's got tons of tournaments under her belt, tons of matches. So, I mean, if situations do arise, I mean, that's where you can see in these adverse conditions, like strong winds, to give a little bit of an edge here or there. She's done stuff in these conditions before.
8 points the difference going into this final end. Is it a different kind of pressure? In other words, the expectation of putting on the national jersey as you guys did last week, and then you're putting on your collegiate jersey. You've still got the crowd behind you, your teammates behind you. It's different kind of pressure, more intense, less intense.
Same. I mean, the U.S. is such a huge country and so many people here. I mean, when you're competing internationally, you got the whole country behind your back. You don't live together. You don't train together. At A&M, we're always together, always training, almost like a family here. I mean, you can just hear it in the cheering. I'm assuming it's the same at the University of the Cumberlands and all these other colleges and universities here. I mean, you're living and breathing archery together. I mean, you're studying together, making sure your grades are great. I mean, we're all student athletes. Student comes first. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all shooting together, pushing each other for this moment. So it's a really great moment when we can really represent Texas A&M here at Collegiate Nationals.
And Carson finishes with a 9 and finishes with the gold. Carson Cray, silver for the national team last week in China. Gold for her collegiate team this week in Lansing, Michigan. And Carson Cray is the 2025 Hotel Planner Collegiate Target Nationals champion for compound women. And now she starts into the song. How soon after you join is that one of the first things you learn? The song, the chant? How soon?
I mean, as soon as you go to the first football game, it's playing like all the time. So maybe even basketball game. It depends. I mean, you learn it pretty fast because everyone knows it, everyone sings it, and it's at every game.
And what is that like, collegiate life? Because obviously Texas A&M it's a huge sport university, so the options for you to get out and be part of that collegiate sports scene, whether it's archery, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whatever, how much do you guys, as an archery group, immerse yourself in other sports and just do things as a group?
I mean, we're a club at the university, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, as a club, we're all friends, like I said, really close-knit. So, I mean, we're going to these games together. We'll go to a basketball game together, watch A&M, cheer on A&M, and then same cheering we're going to be doing here. And it just all builds that community, builds that trust, and builds that team atmosphere. I mean, football games, volleyball games, baseball games. I mean, any sporting event, we'll just, put it in the group chat, who wants to go to this as a team? And you'll get 10, 12, 15 people that want to go to these events. And it's like, okay, here we go. This is a team.
Carson Cray then with gold. Compound College women, Lainey Nish, University of the Cumberlands with silver. That's the 6th and 5th seed respectively. And Julia Rivas, William Carey University, picking up the bronze with a 134-132 win yesterday against Kylie Brookover from Muskingum University. And Julia, the 2nd seed. Coming up, we have Sawyer Sullivan, the number 1 seed and defending champion against Jared Laux. One of 2 from his family competing for gold this morning. His sister will go in recurve competition in just a few moments. But Sawyer, again, another one who's hot-footed it from China. For you guys, what was that adjustment period? At what point did the jet lag hit you, and how has that process been working through?
Lots of early nights waking up here. I mean, lots of adjusting over there as well. The compounders finished a day earlier, so they all got to come home early. So they got a couple more days of adjustment. It was kind of brutal for me. For me, it's kind of first time on this World Cup circuit here, traveling to all these tournaments. 4th World Cup in China, but it's first time in Asia, so that was an experience. Adjusting to the time. I mean, it's 12 hours ahead from here.
Wow. Yeah.
There's definitely days where I'm like, ooh, I'm tired right now.
I imagine there's definitely days when you're wondering what day it is.
That too.
Because of the time difference, and you've gone over the international timeline, and yeah, it can certainly throw the mind and the body.
Someone was saying, like, I think it's a day of recovery for every time zone you cross. I was like, man, it's going to be a couple of days then.
Yeah, and you talk to people who work in the airline industry. Say, okay, well, you keep hydrated, you do this. Yeah, look, it's whatever. You've got to go through that jet lag fatigue. But how quickly were you into the groove here? How quickly were you able to readjust?
I mean, I was able to readjust pretty okay. I mean, qualified 2nd, not where I want to be. Obviously, always want to be number 1. Make the mixed teams be out here. Matches were a little bit of a struggle. I mean, feeling a little bit of the fatigue. Didn't get to shoot as much as I'd like in the days previous, but no, overall, learned a lot. I mean, great experience, and I love just competing for the college and getting as many points as we can.
Coming into the arena then, we have the 2 coaches. Is that Jack for Texas A&M?
That is. That's Jack
and
Kringle. He's a freshman.
And he's had a great year as well. He's made the World Youth Team. It'll be going to Canada later in the year.
He's actually going to be competing with Christian Stoddard, who's on the World Cup team, who just came back from China. And he's been on a tear as well. I mean, qualified first at the 2 World Cups, so he's a great addition to the team. And Joshua Beck, who's actually going to be in the gold medal match against our Alex Guillen from Texas A&M later. So, I mean, I'm really confident that our recurve junior men's team for Youth World Championships is going to be pretty strong.
So this is Texas A&M, Sawyer Sullivan, Jared Laux, University of the Cumberlands.
Another A&M versus Cumberlands matchup.
They're coming thick and fast now. And with an eye on retaining your title. You guys won the overall championship last year. How much was that? Obviously on an individual level, and you win the individual events and you get those cumulative and it works towards the team. But how much of retaining the team title was a goal for you guys?
Oh, of course, it's always the goal. That's what we're training all year for. That's what we're all pushing for, is to win as a team. So, I mean, every match here is pushing towards that goal. Carson's helping out. Sawyer's doing his job. And, I mean, our next 2 matches, recurve, both have A&Ms in the gold medal match. And it's a pretty good showing for us, 5 of the 8.
Yeah, Alex and Catalina. And the first year for Catalina at collegiate level.
Yeah, and got team silver already. She's got mixed teams later and individual later. So, I mean, she's already going to be walking away with 3 medals.
Not a bad week.
Jared Sawyer with a 9.
Jared is, again, another of those larger-than-life characters. On their way to the final. Chase Herndon of Union Commonwealth University defeated by Sawyer in the semi-finals, 136-134. Jared with a 140-137 win over Elias Reyes of William Carey University.
And I believe Sawyer's number 5 in the world. I mean, he competes with the likes of Matthias Fullerton, Mikey Slosher, and Jimmy. So, I mean, you can tell the conditions were rough out here at this tournament. And 136 is what it's taken to get to this gold medal match here.
Your host of this event, Michigan State University Archery Team.
I think Sawyer directly said this is probably one of the worst events he's ever shot. Worse than Ireland and worse than Germany, I believe is what he was saying earlier. He's like, the wind's just not consistent, the wind's just strong, and it's blowing you all over the place.
But also, is there an added pressure? Because, I mean, let's be fair, yourself and Catalina and Sawyer and Carson, you're international archers. So competing against your collegiate teammates, there's maybe a little bit more expectation. These are the guys that compete for their country. These are the guys that
we're expected to win. I mean, Carson and Sawyer have done their job. I kind of slacked off this week. But no, I mean, all of us are shooting good. Let's see what the scores are right now. It looks like Sawyer's got a 1-point lead, 28-27 here.
So who's going to make the most noise behind us, Texas A&M or University of the Cumberlands? Or Texas A&M have launched into their chance as I say that.
Yeah, can I give him a boost over the mic here? Is that even fair?
I'm just wondering whether you're tapping your toes in rhythm. Sawyer with a 10.
Both these archers look super stable up here, really comfortable with their shot. Sawyer back-to-back 10s has a kind of a confused look on his face, even though he's been hidden. A little bit of bo-jitsu there, throwing the arm out. Doesn't quite catch it.
Was that 29 for Sawyer?
Yes, it looks
Takes
like
him
it.
to 57.
Looks like they're talking about the timers here or something. Something with the
Let's hear it for
A
timers
buzzing.
buzzing. Yeah.
Sawyer Sullivan from Texas A&M.
Waving to the crowd. All smiles.
University of the Cumberland, Jared Wow.
No smiles from Jared. He's
He's focused.
And I think they're kind of looking down and trying to figure out how to make some adjustments.
Looks like a 29 from Sawyer for a total of 57. $29 from
Jared as
Jared
well. So,
for, 56. 1 point difference still going to the third end.
okay, still all to play for then. And we've got plenty more blue sky above, but
It's still chilly here.
the wind has not died down and the temperature has not increased. So it may look nicer, but it is still trying conditions for these archers.
See, Sawyer's all layered up here. Pants, jacket under.
Well, and again, from I imagine anybody that's played golf and archery again is how much can you get layered up before it starts to restrict your movement?
No, absolutely. I mean, compounds have a little bit more leeway. They have a little bit more of an open angle, steep angle on their strings. So they can absolutely get away with a little bit more layering here. So he's got a little bit of a confused look on his face
It's
here.
that same look that he had the last end.
This one seems to have 2 9s. One out right, one out left, it looks like.
There's another
Jared with a
10.
30 here. Has a chance to actually go up here in the match. Actually, he did go up. Go up even more. So I think he's up 2 points here.
Yeah, 3 9s for Sawyer, 3 10s for Jared. And his sister Brianna will take on Catalina Ginoriega in the recurve women's final. That'll be coming up after this one. And you say you're in whose corner for the mixed team?
I'll be in Vanu and Kat's corner for the
Okay.
mixed team, just being their coach, kind of guiding them along.
I'm looking around at the Texas A&M. Is there? And I'm looking at Riley as well. Is she the kind of the ringleader, gets everybody started?
I mean, she's the club president, so
It's her responsibility.
it's
Yeah,
kind of her responsibility. And
goes
then
with the job.
we got Sawyer with a total score of 84. Jared with an 86.
This
2
is a-
point difference here, 2 ends to go.
This is a big end then. This is a massive end for Sawyer Sullivan. And there's been a look of confusion on Sawyer's face. The expression hasn't really changed for Jared over the far side.
That looked like a solid. Yep, that looks solid. Was a 10.
He still doesn't look happy though, does he? Still doesn't look quite on his game.
I mean, he's looking for perfection here. I mean, next up on our docket here is Turkey on Talia, where X's count as 11s.
Yeah, of
Well,
course,
I mean,
yes. The
when you're
new
hearing
world
10,
archery.
10,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I could be down 2 points here on this international circuit. But, I mean, there you go, all squared away now.
Just in 1 arrow, disappears. Okay, that was better from Sawyer
Looks
Sullivan.
like Sawyer's locked back in here, so I mean, it looks like Sawyer's back to leading the match by 1. I mean, in these conditions, I mean, you can swing back and forth. Oh, there's
Things flying around the table. The breeze picking up again. You see, it's not just the archers having problems.
Hey, both Sawyer and Jack are from Minnesota here, and they both look cold. I didn't know people from Minnesota were allowed to get cold.
They are huddled, and actually there's a little bit of heat coming from the sun. The sun's kicking off a little bit of heat, but you've got to be at the right angle, and I'm not sure many of us are.
Oh, I love this sport and I love this tournament. Everyone's
And it
dedicated.
is there, and I've often said to people of all of the events, and there's many wonderful events, but there's something special about the collegiate tournaments, and particularly this one.
Sawyer's out here checking his arrows. He's like, I think he's even swapping one out because he's like, that didn't hit where I wanted to hit. And he's pretty dialed in.
And how much of that, you recognize an arrow, it's like, okay, is it a superstition thing? Is it,
I
that,
mean,
that
it's
one
just a
worked
mental
for me,
click.
or-
I mean, okay, this one didn't hit exactly where I wanted to. I mean, it could absolutely be the archer, but I mean, if you're switching out, it just gives you that extra little bit of confidence. I mean, hey, maybe he nicked the vein, maybe the knock was something, but I mean, just switching it out gives you that mental little bit of reset. He's like, this arrow's going to hit, going to be ready. I mean, we're on the last set here. It's 114, 113. So, I
Okay.
mean, 1 point match here. Jared's going to shoot first, put the pressure on Sawyer, but like we said, he's also pretty battle-tested here.
Jared shoots a 9.
Sawyer can take a 2-point advantage here with a 10.
Sawyer with a 9.
Looks like
Okay.
9, just a little bit left. Strong wind, it looks like. I mean, look at these flags, they're blowing all over the place.
Jared with a 9.
131 for Jared.
Sawyer shoots a 10.
Okay, 2 points in this last arrow. So, I mean, a gold for Sawyer at this point keeps it clean.
133.
Jared shoots a 9.
Yeah,
140 for Jared, the score he got in the semi-final.
I think
And Sawyer with a 10.
And 10
that's
for
that'll
Sawyer
go for
Sullivan.
Sawyer. Hug for Jack there, his coach in the box, and shaking hands between Sawyer and Jared.
Gold medal then for Sawyer Sullivan.
There he
Raises
goes.
his hat to his teammates, Jared Laux with the silver, and he led at one point. Some fantastic archery also from the University of the Cumberlands. Texas A&M taking gold once again, as they did in the compound women with Carson Cray.
Okay. Oh, picture for Sawyer there right in
Yeah.
the middle. Maybe I'll photobomb it.
It wasn't plain sailing, and as you said, there were a couple of ends in between where he just looked puzzled. He looked confused. And what was that? Was that him not knowing what he was doing? Was it him not knowing
he
what the
knows
conditions
exactly
were
what he's
doing?
doing. I think it's a little bit of just making a good shot. Maybe it drifts more than you think it would. Maybe it drifts less one end. I mean, this wind is really inconsistent, it looks like now during this match versus some of the earlier matches. I mean, watching the flags a lot more tailwind, headwind. I mean, pretty consistent right to left. Headwind, tailwind definitely is going to make a difference where your arrows are going to be hitting.
So Jared picking up silver. His sister Brianna Laux, also representing University of the Cumberlands, will take on Catalina Ginoriega, Texas A&M. And they're just readying themselves away to our right-hand side, ready to step into the arena for the first of the recurve competition. And this, similar to Bearbow, is the set system. And Venu will be in Catalina's corner, and he once again is leading the charge from the far side. They're getting ready. And then Alex Gilliam against Joshua Beck of Columbia University. Alex, Texas A&M. And at what stage is Alex in his education?
He's
Can he-
actually graduated from his master's now. He just graduated a couple weeks ago, actually. So I think he's got a job in Houston, and he's going into the workforce, going to continue shooting, and we'll see him around. He's a great talent and phenomenal archer here.
Well, and that's the thing, you guys, you kind of live and compete in each other's pockets for 4, 5, 6 years consecutively, collegiate and obviously on the archery circuit, and then to kind of go your, I'd say, separate ways, but you after those 4 or 5 concentrated years at collegiate level, it must be quite difficult. There's a little bit of emotions, I suspect.
Oh,
at the end of
absolutely.
it.
I mean, like I said, family, friends, everyone's super tight. So, I mean, we'll definitely see him around. He'll be up training with us at A&M. Just coming, saying hi.
Won't be able to get rid of him. Yeah. Okay, so we're about to get this one underway. They haven't to move, obviously, the target's back another 20 metres, 70 metres for recurve, and that's almost right at the fence at the far end.
Definitely a drop off after the bail. It's like there's nothing behind it.
Yeah.
You can see Catalina, a freshman as well, getting into the chance.
You're watching coverage of the 2025 Hotel Planet USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals live from Lansing in Michigan, the Hope Sports Complex. A very good morning. I was going to say a warm welcome. It's far from warm. It's a little brighter, and there's some blue sky, plenty of white clouds up there as well. But we've seen some fantastic archery this morning. Fixed pins, bare bow, compound, and now we're tucking into a late morning feast of recurve. And the windy conditions have already taken out some of the sponsor banners and one of the clocks. They've had to be repositioned and weighted down with things a little bit more sturdy.
Your next match will be your gold medal
But this will be the gold medal match for recurve women from Texas A&M, Catalina Noriega, and University of the Cumberland's Brianna Laux. Her brother Jared getting silver, as you say, in that compound gold medal match. So here comes
Kat's super happy to come out on this stage. She's been on. She won Team Silver earlier this year in Florida at the World Cup. She looks super happy to be here on this field. Both these archers, great talents.
Because how many years had you had at Collegiate before you kind of broke in on a consistent level on the international kind of World Cup scene? In other words, my point being is Catalina's gone through that World Cup and now she's coming to college, so she's kind of experienced one after the other.
Yeah, mine's been a little bit more of a bumpy road. I mean, I came into college actually making the World Cup team 2019-2020 year. COVID happened. I didn't get to go to those World Cups. And then I did a couple rebuilds with my form getting ready for the Paris Olympics, which I worked actually. Didn't make the international team for a couple years, but ended up making the Paris 2024 Olympic team. Unfortunately, we didn't field the full team, so I was alternate. But yeah, now we're looking onwards to 2028. Glad to have been at A&M and love training there. Both these archers, again, starting a little bit to the left. The trend on the field. That looked like a strong shot there. Yep. Seems like she looked back to Vanu. Vanu told her, give it a couple of clicks here. Seems to be either high or low. And she seemed to have listened, confident in her shot, knowing she's making good shots. Oh, that looks solid. Ooh, a little high left.
Again, cumulative, set system for recurve.
And Brianna with a pitch.
Both of those arrows actually landed very similar spots, high left. I wonder if there was a wind change that both of these archers didn't catch. I mean, I'm assuming Catalina's shooting a little bit more poundage here. And that's why it didn't drift as much. But, I mean, both these archers super similar in arrow placement on that last arrow.
And often it may take an arrow or two to kind of get your eye in. With conditions that are maybe a little bit more severe, could it take an end And is that what we just saw there? We saw all 3 arrows, which were all a bit of a mixed bag to kind of...
I mean, Catalina was pretty consistent. I mean, pretty much a little high left 9, high left 10, and then high left 7. And maybe that last arrow, I mean, she's dialed on those first 2. Last one, a little bit more wind than expected. I mean, Brianna looks like the same way. High left 9, 8 liner, and then adjusted for it, right 9, and then again that last arrow, same with Kat, up there high left, way up there. So it looks like both these archers are actually pretty dialed, and it's just a little bit of just that precision, a little bit of that accuracy, and getting dialed into the 10 ring, the X ring, and just making sure you're judging the wind correctly every single arrow.
I was listening to you, but I was also watching Catalina.
Yeah, she was definitely, I was watching her as well. She was dancing and getting into the chants. I mean, she seems pretty happy, pretty loose up there. I mean, she's shooting good. She should be. 2-0 lead here. 6 points will take a victory. Each set of 3 arrows, whoever has the highest score between those 3 arrows will get 2 points. In the event of tying between 3 arrows, it'll be 1 point, 1 point. If the archers reach 5 points to 5 points, there will be a 1 arrow shoot-off.
And it's easy to say, stay focused, because I can't imagine Catalina doing that kind of dancing on the World Cup stage. But again, my point being is this is collegiate archery, and there is that balance between interacting with your teammates and kind of enjoying the occasion, but also obviously settling and focusing in on it when the business matters.
And you could definitely tell, as soon as she stepped on that line, it was focus, getting ready.
Catalina with an 8.
A little bit high.
Some adjustments there for Catalina. Again, off the back of Venu giving some instructions from behind. And whatever happens, it's been a fabulous day for the Laux family. Jared and Brianna making the gold medal matches in compound men and recurve women.
Catalina shoots a 9.
9 for Catalina.
Kat, again in that high left area.
Brianna with a 7.
I mean, opening the door here for Kat to go up 4-0. Windy conditions. Look like a good shot.
Catalina with a 9.
You've got your back to your teammates, but can you tell who the cackles are coming from?
Oh, absolutely. That was, I can hear exactly. I mean, we practice these cheers at home, so I know exactly what
You can tell
everyone
who.
sounds like, who's cheering. Everyone's cheering.
Yeah, as I say, 2 big teams, 2 big rivals, Texas A&M, University of the Cumberlands.
And it seems these last 3 matches have been between these 2 teams.
And obviously made up a big chunk of some of the World Cup team last week. Landon Cox, Isaac Sullivan were there as well.
Yeah,
Sawyer.
5 archers right there. Okay, Catalina's now up 4-0. Brianna's going to need to fight back to have a chance in this match. Catalina's going to obviously shoot her best here, try to close off the match as quickly as possible, take away the gold medal.
Brianna to shoot first, trailing in this gold medal match.
Brianna with a 9. Catalina with a 6.
Seems like she aimed off a little bit too much in this wind. And if you looked at the flags for that moment she shot there, they were actually down. No wind at all for that arrow.
Brianna with a 9.
I'm looking at the field. I'm looking at the flag over there in the middle of the field, so I don't know if they can see this flag. I don't know what this flag is doing. That's a little bit more of a head turner for me.
And then the flags on the top of the targets, which I suspect are a little lighter anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Those seem to be pretty consistently having that right to left wind.
And Brianna shoots a 7. And Catalina shoots a 10.
So good recovery there from Kat on her last arrow, shooting the 10.
But again, we look out there and we've got the windsock in the middle doesn't seem to be behaving as wildly as you say as this one on the left-hand side.
And it might be because of that the wall right here that's around the arena where it's coming up over that and diving under and then picking up right in front of these bleachers. Or I don't know what it's doing, but that one in the middle of the field looks pretty much dead now.
Well, and the other thing as well, and I'm not sure if the viewers can see, but we've got bleachers behind us. But there's also a decent gap from the end of the bleachers to maybe another 25, 30 meters to the target where it's open on both sides. So once it gets past the bleachers,
It's
again,
just,
the
whipping
wind
around that corner, absolutely.
And I'm not sure how how would you legislate for that? How do you calculate what the conditions are going to be like beyond the bleachers?
I mean, you're just really picking your spot and you're trusting it. A lot of it just using context clues, looking at the flags down on the targets, looking at both windsocks on the field, looking at the banners in the stands.
Catalina.
And closing your eyes and pulling it. Yeah.
I don't know about closing your eyes.
I think I may have made that bit up. Okay, 4-2. Catalina up against Brianna. So
Catalina looks a little bit more focused now, a little bit more serious. Gonna try to close out the match in this end, obviously. Brianna's trying to not let that happen.
And Brianna opens with an
8 to start for Brianna Laux.
Oh, that looked beautiful. Advantage here for Catalina in this fourth set.
Brianna with a 10.
Okay, Brianna's
Hey, fighting.
responded.
That's exactly what she needed to stay alive here. Put the pressure on Kat.
Catalina with another 10.
Oh. Kat, 20 points, 10-10, 2-point lead into this last arrow. Really keeping it going. Really nice timing here.
Brianna with a 9.
So, I mean, 8 and better is going to secure her that victory here.
In her first year at Texas A&M.
And Catalina with a 7, possibly an 8.
Ooh, so a 7-8 liner to the right, maybe aimed off too much. So regardless, they could have split that set, or she could take it with if that's upgraded to an 8.
Okay, we're going to have to wait a little while then. So it could be 5-3. It could be a 6-2 win for Catalina Di Noriega.
6-4 or 5-3. And then you have that split set and then possibility of a shoot-off.
She's looking down the sight, see if she can get a closer view.
Zooming in there with her Maven scope.
They're taking a long look.
Oh, it looks like they called that a 7 with the pointing down. So it looks like it will be a split set here, 5-3.
Brianna stays alive. He's switching the scores over, and it is confirmed 5-3. Catalina leads from 4-0 to 4-2 to 5-3. Brianna will start.
And it looks like after 4 ends, Brianna has kept it alive. Catalina with
They're
5.
going into the 5th and final set here.
Brianna shoots first.
That breeze is picking up again.
Definitely more of just a straight tailwind now. I wonder if the arrow's going to be right.
Brianna with a 7.
And it looks like the arrow is right to 7. So, I mean, that's just a cue for the archer to pick up on there. It's no longer a right to left. It looks like a more tail. Let's see where...
Catalina with a 7.
Both hitting 7s.
That one's on the left side as it goes back to just the right to left wind.
Brianna's second arrow of this 5th end.
5 seconds left.
Brianna shoots an 8.
It's an 8, and she seemed to hold a little longer with that one.
All Kat needs to do is match her arrow for arrow, split the sets to get her 6. Oh,
Catalina shoots a 10.
so
There's a 10.
2-point advantage here. Brianna's really going to need a 10 here to put the pressure on. That looked like a good fast shot.
Brianna with a 10.
And yep,
Okay.
that's how she responds. So an 8 here will get her the victory. Anything else? Shoot off. And that's an X.
X to finish for Catalina Gennariega and the gold medal in the recurve women.
That's gold, gold, gold for the last 3 Texas A&M archers.
And Brianna Laux.
And now they're dancing. There you
There
go.
we go.
Look at that smile.
Smiles return. There was just a little moment where you could see she got back into that zone and she had that kind of fixed focus, but now the smiles return. Another silver medal though for the Laux family. Brianna picking up silver for University of the Cumberlands. And Riley Marks, another Texas A&M, with the bronze in the recurve college women. So gold and bronze for Texas A&M, silver for University of the Cumberlands. Olivia Hale from Pikeville missing out on the medals, but finishing a wonderful 4th place.
On this.
She's going to love that.
She's going, no, my picture.
A big moment, and Trenton photobombing. Okay, we are getting set for the final individual gold medal match of the morning. Mixed teams still to come. And this will be Joshua Beck and Alex Gilliam, the 8th seed. Joshua, Alex is the 3rd seed. Columbia University versus Texas A&M. And Columbia's women, I think, winning recurve team gold.
That was fun. 5 in a row for me.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, well, I mean, look at the team that you've got, though. Was it yourself, Jack, Alex, and Venu? I mean, you are a phenomenal
core
recurve.
here, pushing each other all to be better. We got Nick and Zachary, too, working hard. Alex Ma. I think we got 6 of the 10 All-Americans with one that was just out. So we could have had 7 of our 7 archers
impressive.
All-Americans.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic. 60%.
Not bad. You were quicker to that than I was. My math was never a strong point. So who's that's Jackson? Jackson Mirich is in. Is he in Alex's corner? I think.
Yes, he'll be in Alex's box. I mean,
Okay.
Venu's going to go now prepare for mixed teams because we're going to flow right into that. Kat's going to be there. I mean, I'm here commentating, so
It's a
one of
full
his
team
oldest
effort.
friends here. They've been shooting together for a long time.
And getting set to bring them into the arena. See, Jackson took bronze against a certain Trenton Cowles in that encounter. What? I mean, you two know each other very, very well.
Basically like a USAC gold medal match, me and Jackson. I mean, conditions were tough. He figured them out. I didn't. He walked away with the bronze medal.
Mesa Community College, Jackson Mirich.
Wearing A&M merch now.
And he's making the most of his moment as well. He's waving to the Texas A&M crowd as Joshua and Alex step into the arena.
On target 1, representing Columbia University, Joshua Beck.
Ooh, giving them a gig 'em.
On target 2, from Texas A&M University, Alex Williams. And the line goes for the match, Bobby Bill.
They may be small in number, but they're going to have to be loud, the Columbia University crowd, because they're up against the crowd that is Texas A&M.
I think we're trying to go 4 for 5 here, 4 in a row with our gold medals.
Well, I've just seen Catalina and Carson and Sawyer. And earlier I would have said the compound bronze women to Julia Rivas. She goes by Morgan, so my apologies on that. Morgan Rivas with the bronze in the compound college women. Carson Cray and Lainey Nish taking gold and silver respectively. This one is underway, the final one of the morning in the individual gold medal competition.
So it's actually one thing that's really interesting. Alex is the higher seed here. Sawyer was the higher seed. Trapper was the higher seed. And they all chose to shoot second in these windy conditions, just to maybe get a gauge on what their opponent's going to do, how they're drifting in the wind. All been doing pretty well here. Alex made another great looking shot.
Alex shoots the 7.
Drifted a little bit more. Still a 2-point lead for Alex here in this first set.
Joshua with a 9. And Alex with a 6.
Turning around to Jackson Mirich, it's what was going awry there? What was going wrong there for Alex?
I don't know. Those shots looked pretty good from over here. I mean, they might be drifting more. He looks super comfortable up there, super confident. I mean, Jackson's going to keep him in the zone, shooting his best shot. So we're going to have to see and wait and see for these next couple arrows. I mean, Jackson's got a ton of experience here. I mean, he's been on the World Cup team. He's traveled the world championships, everything. So
Pan Am Games as well.
he's Pan Am Games champion out here. I mean, tons of international experience on this collegiate field. Tons of top-level archers here. No small feat to be here in this gold medal match. Both these archers shooting fantastically all week. Look at him getting that crowd riled up, getting the volume up. Ooh, he's calling for a chant. So it looks like Joshua Beck got that first set. So Alex will be the first archer shooting here. Set points here. Each archer will shoot 3 arrows. Archer with the higher score will take 2 set points. If the 2 archers tie with their 3 arrows, 1 point apiece. If it's 5-5, there will be a shoot-off. The winner is first to 6 points. So this can be done in 3 ends.
Joshua Beck, as you say, taking the 2-0 lead. He's got his coach, Derek Davis, and teammate Judith Gottlieb
Way back there,
20
video.
meters behind, taking some video shots behind.
Yep. There's Alex, a strong start again, starting off with the 10.
How does Joshua respond? A member of the World Archery Youth Championship USA team heading to Canada in August.
And Josh with a 7.
Throwing a little bit high there.
Alex with an 8, possibly a 9.
8-9 liner.
So, assuming the worst, 8, and even with the 10, he'll still have a 1-point lead. If it gets upgraded, even more.
Josh with a 10.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a strong shot here.
Alex shoots an 8.
A little bit to the right there.
So it could be 26, could be 27 for Alex.
A little shaky into loading and quick shot. Looks
And
good.
Josh with a 9, possibly a 10.
Okay, we
So
got
also a 26, 27 battle here. So it
Two
could go.
liners,
It
yeah.
can go to Alex. It can go to Joshua. It can be split, depending on how lines go.
Okay, we got two. We got a 9-10 liner. We got an 8-9 liner. A 7 and a 10 for Joshua that we do know about, and a 10 and 8 from Alex.
Blowing the crowd a kiss there. A little bit of crowd control, taking the hat off. He's just having fun. This is his last Collegiate Nationals as well as it is mine. He's having fun on this stage. He's getting the crowd to cheer for him.
Taking a long look down the far end to see any indication as to decisions made over those marginal calls.
Still trying to figure out what they're calling it. Oh, looks like there is some flip cards.
It's
Oh,
a split.
looks like they split. So either 27-27 or 26-26. And they're going to do another cheer here.
I didn't want to interrupt, but no, I have.
A 3-1 Joshua's favor, so Alex will still be leading off. He's going to want to put the pressure on with this first arrow. He's really keen on doing that. He's had a 10, his first arrow, both ends. That looked like a little bit of an up shot, but
Opens with a 9.
nine shot there.
Josh answers with a 9.
So tied arrow for arrow here.
Alex with another 9.
Okay.
Back-to-back nines, holding gold here. Will that be enough here for Joshua? Put the pressure on.
And
Looks like
Josh
a
with another
9.
Okay. 2 9s apiece. A big-
Alex with a 10 here can definitely put the pressure on.
Alex with a 10.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Giving a little fist bump there. He knows that was a good shot. He read the wind right.
How can Joshua respond?
A little bit of a shake there from him.
And Josh with a 9-10 liner.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, so
Just to
liner
make things
there.
interesting.
See Alex there checking the scope. And his coach is saying iffy, iffy. Maybe in, maybe out.
So we can have a 4-2 or a 3-3.
Lots of very close sets here. I mean, this is top-level archery we're seeing. Alex, he's one of our USAT members, one of the top archers in our country. Joshua Beck, he's on the youth circuit here, going to Youth World Championships.
And a great, of course, coach in Joshua's corner as well, with Derek Davis.
Oh, it looks like it was a 9, so he did not catch that line. That's giving Alex 3-3, tied it back up. You definitely don't want to get into a shoot-off with Alex. I mean, during Olympic trials, I think he was like 10 for 16 shoot-offs.
Wow.
Something that archers consider a 50-50. He was upwards of like 75, 80% on winning them.
And you two met in Buckeye? Was it the Buckeye last year?
Yes, we shot in Buckeye. Yeah, last year we shot at Buckeye. The year before that was Justin Hewish.
Yeah.
And now it looks like neither one of us are going to be there to defend that. We're going to be at World University Games.
Yes.
I think my streak of winning the last two is going to come to an end, unfortunately.
You have to make it 3 and 4 then.
Just winning when I go. That looked like a beautiful shot there from Joshua. How can Alex respond here?
Alex answers with a 10.
There we go, keeping it all drawn up.
Josh with a 10.
Both these archers clean still. 2 10s from Joshua. Definitely leveled up their playing field. Oh, that looked.
Alex with a 10.
There we go. 20s apiece. 10 10 10 10.
There's some great quality here.
A little bit of a shake there from Josh. Oh, he did not like that.
Josh with an 8.
Okay, so advantage Alex here, keeping it in the gold.
Alex with a 9.
There we go, 29. Alex takes the lead here. 5-3.
That last arrow from Joshua, as you say, you could just see a little wobble there at the
A
end.
little bit of a wobble.
And he's reenacting the motion is Joshua. But
And he's rallying the crowd again.
Yeah, he's going for it, isn't he?
You can see the Columbia coach like, guys, be louder.
Yeah. I think they are probably outnumbered by about 1 to 8, I think, something like that.
Let's see, I think you could probably count their team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Well,
9.
they brought the colour. They brought the colour. They got the pom-poms there.
I think it's 4 to 1.
Okay.
5 to 1.
Well, now they're giving as good as they get now, Columbia. They're storming back. But yeah, this is top quality archery.
Okay,
from these
Joshua's
two.
down in this match now. A big reversal. 3 to 5. He'll shoot first. He must win this next set outright to even force a shoot off. Otherwise, the match will go to Alex. A draw or a win for Alex.
And after 4 ends, Alex Wynn with the advantage. 5 points to the lead. Josh second, Columbia to shoot first.
That looked like a really good shot off the bat.
9 for Joshua.
That looked like a beautiful shot. So Alex, a 1-point advantage. X to a 9. Joshua's.
Alex with a 6.
Alex threw one a little bit to the left there.
Okay. The door has been reopened.
I mean, Joshua needs a 10 or a 9. Oh, big.
Josh with a 6.
And doors back open.
Yeah. Advantage.
So Alex with an 8 to win right now.
And Alex with an 8.
And that'll do it.
He's asking the question of Jackson. Jackson's looking down the...
That should do it. I mean,
Yeah.
24 to 24.
He's asking. I think he's asking. He's asking the question.
Asking.
Is it enough?
I wonder if there's a liner that's, I don't have eyes on arrows, but from the math in my head, it should be good. They're calling for the arrow agent to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. He gives it a thumbs up, so it looks like it should be good. very tense, very quiet. Everyone's waiting for it. Okay.
They're keeping us waiting. There we go.
Yeah.
There's confirmation. Alex Gilliam is your gold medal winner. And he had to wait a little while for confirmation. And the emotions pouring out now.
That's 4 out of 5 there, 4 in a row for Texas A&M.
Joshua Beck with the silver medal, a wonderful performance, and we wish him and the rest of the USA team all the best later in the year as they head off to Winnipeg in Canada for the World Archery Youth Championships. And Alex Gilliam finishing with a gold. That was quite the morning for you guys at Texas A&M.
Absolutely, yeah. Great performance from us. I mean, this is what we come here to do, put on a performance, shoot good shots.
And mixed team, what are the hopes for mixed team coming up?
Well, we got our recurve Catalina Venu, national record holder, and Catalina, an Olympian, international team member. I mean, I'm pretty confident in their performance, so
How many
excited for that.
times has Venu said we've got to mention that he's national record holder? Have we
Too many times
many.
for me.
Oh, of course, it was your record, wasn't it?
Unfortunately, yes, it was my record.
Okay, well, you're going to have to... well, I was going to say, no, you're collegiate, that's it. So
I think I could still get it. I think university games,
Okay.
that's where it'll count.
there's some motivation for you for the university games, which are in Germany.
Yes.
In
Excited for
July?
that.
Germany in July, so that should be
I don't know if it's July. I think it's a little bit, whatever Buckeye is.
late July.
Late July, perfect.
Yeah, so enjoy that. But Trenton, thank you. We're going to
you.
take a little break in between individual and mixed teams. So come back in about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll be on the same link. So if you are joining us via a live stream and YouTube, we will be on the same link. So don't go too far. The Collegiate Target Nationals brought to you by Hotel Planner for 2025. Back in about 15 minutes with mixed team competition. We'll see you then. Bye for now. Welcome back to Lansing, Michigan for the 2025 Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals. We've had the individual gold medal matches a little earlier on, and we are now getting tucked into the mixed teams finals. Madison Cox is alongside me, and you've been in these positions before. We're going to see the mixed teams competition. I've heard the judges a few moments ago in between the two sets of finals talking amongst themselves about the yellow cards. We may see yellow cards. Talk us through why we may see yellow cards. What's the procedure?
Yes, so that's really important when you're shooting mixed team or team rounds, not to cross that lawn but until your other shooter has crossed back over it. So they have to be really careful that the shooter that's shooting is completely off the lawn and crossed it before they make that first move to cross the lawn as well.
So this is going to be fast and furious as they obviously are battling against the clock as well.
Especially in this wind, it can be tricky for sure. You're not only worried about shooting and getting off the lawn, but also watching to make sure you don't cross too early.
And these are the top scorers from qualification. So this is how these teams are determined. The number one seeds from each of the schools. So University of the Cumberland's Hannah Summers, Colton Cordell, and Pikeville, University of Pikeville, Emma Willis and Tate Job will be those taking to the line. We see them stood in front of us now. And you've competed in obviously in teams, in mixed teams. I mean, obviously, the format of this is you kind of you get the top two that come through, but sometimes you might get two archers that are naturally slow on the line. That can present its own challenges.
That can be tricky. When I shot college archery myself, especially like freshman, sophomore year, I was super slow. So if you're a slow shooter, that's something that you just kind of have to adapt to. And like, even if you just have to speed your shot up for this and make it work and get through the moment.
Fixed pins will get us underway as it did with the individual. Bare bow to follow, then compound, then recurve. So
this could get interesting with the wind. It's been a windy weekend so far.
And again, we are back to cumulative scoring.
Yes. We have Hannah Summers up. She's a freshman.
And you still got obviously close links. Your brother is now at University of the Cumberlands. You're keeping a close eye on the athletes as well coming through.
Yes, for sure. And it looks like
stopping. We just
not sure what's going on.
sure what's happening.
I don't know if
here.
it was a mishap with the clock or what.
We're trying to reset the clocks.
So maybe they'll just put the time back on the clock and then he'll shoot.
They're running the clock down. A little bit of confusion here at the moment. I suspect there'll be some clarity shortly. Be an outline to the archer, but we're not within hearing distance. Not quite. Okay. Hannah's gone. Colton to go next. I'm looking across to you, Madison, for any hints as to what's going on.
No, the only thing I can think of is maybe a mishap with the clock. I wasn't watching the clocks when it all happened, so I'm not completely sure.
I'm not completely blaming you, but
I think they're gonna. The clock's running down, and then they're gonna start their time again, and Colton will shoot.
Colton keep the 9.
And it looks like they're back to normal rotations.
And we see the first yellow card coming
Yeah.
out. And another yellow card.
She's pulling her arrow too quick. You can't pull your arrow out until your feet are planted and you're across that line.
We've got problems again, I think, with the clock. There's another clock that's going. Have they both stopped?
I don't know if it's the clocks interfering with each other.
So how's that going to impact Emma's nerves? They were probably a little bit frazzled to
Yes,
start with.
for sure, especially the first round. You already have nerves as is, so that'll for sure throw a... Okay, now it looks like they're back to normal. Emma is up. And now we have Tate Joe back.
We said it was going to be fast and frantic.
And a 10.
A 10 for Tate, so his nerves are settled.
Yes, for sure.
That'll do his teammate the world of good as well. Back to University of the Cumberlands, Hannah Summers. Her second arrow.
Cumberland with an out.
And the judge on these occasions, they have to have eyes in the back of their head almost. They're-
Number 7.
Yes, they have to pay
Another
close
yellow
attention.
card.
Yep. Oh,
And it's obviously, it is a different format. And if you're not used to mixed teams,
yes, especially if you've never shot it. Because, on the field yesterday, it was still the same thing. But there's, I don't know, everybody's watching. The clocks, I feel like this adds way more pressure than the matches from yesterday. So you have to be extra cautious. And here the judges are watching, specifically you. And yesterday there were multiple teams on the line.
And a 9.
They were good on Tom that round.
I'm exhausted.
It's been a long weekend for sure. I'd say the archers are as well. The wind can be exhausting to shoot in.
Oh, that was,
An interesting first round.
it was an incident-filled first round, wasn't it, that one?
Especially if you've never shot in this before. That's not how you want it to start out because you haven't enough nerves as is.
Well, Hannah seems to be getting support from Colton. Sorry, Emma gets support from Tate.
Yes, for
Looking
sure.
at the right school.
They handled that well.
And Emma's now just been spoken to by Curtis, who's head of judges here. Vastly experienced international judge as well. Because it was it 2 years ago, World Cup women's team? You were part of that women's team, gold medalist?
Yes.
Correct.
It was 2 years ago. Yep.
And I'm trying to think who was part of that team with you. Was it Cassidy?
Cassidy and Danelle Lutz.
Danelle, that's right, yes.
I think it could be a 1-point match.
It is 35-34 in favour of Cumberland's. Okay, let's go. Emma.
And after one end, we have University of the Cumberland with 35 and University of Pikeville with 30.
There we go.
Yep.
Now she's getting the rhythm now.
Just figured it out.
Pikeville in first. And that's
That looked good.
And Tate has been steady as well, so it's been kind of that reassuring hand first end for Emma was a little bit frantic.
Yes.
A smile has now returned to her face. Hannah Summers. Do you remember your freshman year? What was...
So actually, Outdoor Nationals got canceled my freshman year. It was COVID year. So we didn't get to shoot Outdoor Nationals that year. So my first one was Virginia. And it wasn't this windy or this cold. I think the wind is stronger down here than where they were practicing at, so that can for sure be a little bit different from where they were practicing at on the other side of the field.
And we are in I assume they have soccer on here and lacrosse and what have you. So there's a fence around this, as you can probably see to some extent, and you know how much that kind of traps some of the conditions in here as well.
Yes.
There's a 1 point difference after the first end. These two fixed pins teams.
He got that one off. They were close on Tom with that one.
Now, Hannah's pretty quick at getting the arrow away.
Yes.
For you, do you know kind of from setup to release, do you know what your seconds are, what your time is? In other words, do you as a team calculate, well, if I'm going to take 20 of the seconds, you're left with X amount?
Yeah, so they get, I think it's 80 seconds, so really it should be 20 seconds per shot from getting on the line, knocking your arrow, getting the arrow off, and then back off the line. It should be 20 seconds each is what it should be. But sometimes if somebody finishes earlier, then the last person going will have more time, and sometimes that's good. Or sometimes then the last person has like closer to 10 or 15 seconds.
So how many? What was your kind of time? How much were you? Were you eating into other people's seconds as well? Were you?
Definitely in the beginning of my college career, yes. But towards the end, freshman year, I needed to go like first or in the middle. But towards the end, I could definitely go last. Like I could get them off if I had to.
And what part of the process did you speed up? Where did you shave the seconds?
Yeah, it's best to try to speed up getting on and off the line to where you can keep your shot as close to normal as possible, and then just making as strong and as quick shot as possible. You don't have time to sit and watch it and watch your dot move around. You just have to put it on and then go.
So where did they position you, first or second?
Freshman year, I think it was first.
Okay.
Or sophomore year, yeah, first.
Because otherwise you're going to be having the one where your teammates in the crowd are shouting, 6 seconds, 5 seconds.
Yeah. I was
counting you down.
Yes. And then we're halfway through this match.
2 points, the difference now. Cumberland's leading 72-70.
Definitely still anybody's game in this.
Hartsville trailing 72-70. Hartsville with 2 points.
She's got the hang of it. The wind.
Yeah, a little pull away there, just a hesitation.
Yeah, the wind seems to be picking up, so she might be getting blown around.
Hartsville Edwards with a 7.
So you ate into about 28 seconds there.
Yeah, that one was a little long. So Tate might have to speed his up here. Or they'll both have to speed up their next 2 shots. Yeah.
Yeah, so out of the 80 seconds, they've used 52.
Yeah. So they'll have 28 to get the next 2 arrows off, so that could be tricky.
So by comparison, that was 15 seconds for Hannah. You can already see Emma is lurking. She realizes she's got to get onto that line and get set as quickly as possible. 20 seconds to go to get 2 arrows off.
That was super quick.
Much quicker.
Yes. And he'll have about 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds.
Well, they're now getting the countdown from the crowd.
Yeah. In that case, it's the best thing just to get it on the target and try to score at least some scoring rings. Better than to not get it off.
And by comparison, University of the Cumberland's have got all day. And Colton will have just shy of 30 seconds.
It is his last collegiate tournament, so these are his last college arrows.
And we were talking to Trenton, and obviously Alex was out there, and there's others where, I mean, that matters. That matters after
Yes.
4 years as part of a team, part of that family, part of that community, and they'll know they're standing out here for the final time. What was it like for you, those final few arrows?
I think I bawled my eyes out last year at Outdoor Nationals, and now seeing like all the seniors or like everybody, the fifth years that are leaving, like they were all crying yesterday after they shot their last arrows, and like you really just realize how much the programs mean to each archer and how much collegiate archery like matters to each of the archers that are here. Like it is a big deal.
And explain that, because it's an individual sport. For most of it, it's an individual sport, but collegiate archery is very much a team environment. So it is I imagine it does kind of tug at the emotions.
Yeah, like some of these teams spend like Monday through Friday together. They practice every day. If not, it's like a few days a week. And like when you're there for 4 or 5 years, your teammates are like almost like family. So you do get super close with them, and like some of these people will be friends for the rest of their lives. And I know most of my friendships, like all my friendships, came from collegiate archery.
Brilliant. No, it's fantastic, and we've already today seen some real emotion and
Yes,
genuine emotion.
For sure.
It's a 4-point gap. 108 plays 104. University of Pikeville. Emma Willis, Tate Job are trailing.
Pikeville trails by 4 points going into the final round, and we'll keep first. Pikeville with an 8.
That one was much quicker from Emma.
Yeah, about 16 seconds. So
Yeah.
I
They
think
should have-
previously you were saying there was maybe just the wind picked up and it almost reset her entire process.
Yes.
And an 8.
Yeah, they're looking much better on tone this round.
Points to make up. University of the Cumberlands.
Cumberland with an 8.
With the advantage, Hannah Summers, Colton Cordell steps onto the line. And what's Colton's archery journey, collegiate archery journey? In other words, to finish as he expects to finish here, how much more is this going to mean to him?
Yeah, I think it'll mean a lot to him. He's only been at the Cumberlands 2 or 3 years. He's actually going to switch to the University of Kentucky and do an engineer program there. So although his time's cut short here, he sure has made like an indent on the program and left his mark in the bow hunter class.
Not a bad.
Strong finish from Tate.
Yes.
So they're going to have to reset the University of the Cumberland's clock. He's just going to prolong Colton's collegiate career. You see, I think that's the idea.
Yeah, just a few more minutes maybe. I'm not sure if the clocks, I'm not sure why they keep pausing or messing up. So it looks like they're putting the time back on the clock, and then they'll just shoot their arrows like normal.
Okay, normal service resumed.
Yep.
Netherlands with an in.
Fun fact: Colton's nickname for everybody's Peepaw. So that's what everybody calls him and knows him as, is Peepaw.
Should I ask why?
He had the nickname in high school, I think, and it just carried on.
Oh, and there we go. There is the conclusion of his time at the University of the Cumberlands. Colton Cordell and Hannah Summers, gold medal winners in the mixed teams fixed pins at Collegiate Target Nationals. A lot of drama in there, and
Yes.
Obviously the clocks and the yellow cards, and
They all handled it well.
fantastic. So fantastic from University of the Cumberlands getting gold, silver to University of Pikeville, Emma Willis and Tate Job. And we will continue in just a few moments with Bear Bow. But hugs all around.
Definitely a big accomplishment to make this match. The conditions yesterday were definitely not easy, so they definitely earned it to be here today.
Was it is it a different kind of gratification, satisfaction winning a team competition, mixed teams, than it is individual glory?
It can be, yes. For team rounds and like mixed team, I feel like there's less pressure sometimes because like you have other people there to pick you up, or like you're there to pick other people up. It's not just, it doesn't all just depend on you. Like if you have a bad arrow, maybe your teammate will pick you up. So that always helps.
Yeah.
Please congratulate our runners-up.
But it definitely still means a lot to all these archers to win team rounds and mixed team as well.
Fantastic. Wonderful performance from both teams there. And we will get ready for Bear Bow, University of Rio Grande, whose head coach Jonathan Clemens, former coach of University of Pikeville, of course. And he'll be up against his old school, Mo Nyatt, John Sarrazin, both former Pikeville, up against Kennedy Mayer and John Stevens. And they'll be coming up in just a few moments in the Bear Bow division. Well, it looks like the Rio Grande, they've got the. I'm trying to see what Moa's got in her hair. She's got glitter or something. What she got dressed up for the occasion.
For sure. That's a big thing at Collegiate Nationals is like the face paint or the glitter or the shorts or things like that. They really like to show out with things like that and have fun with it. It's always fun to pick out different shorts or whatever the teams pick.
And that, I was mentioning that to Caitlin earlier from Muskingum. And who takes the lead? Is there a planning committee around
Yes.
outfits? And then who takes the lead on those things?
It can definitely go back and forth. I think for most teams, they probably have like a group chat or they meet up with like their divisions and then they all put in their input. And sometimes it can go back and forth for a while until they finally decide on what they want to do. But usually they're cool ideas for sure.
Well, and I was going to say, is there anybody saying, no, that's too much?
Sometimes, like some teams this year had shorts with their coaches' faces all over it. So that was something new this year and interesting. And then some jeans were like painted, I think, in the barebow divisions.
Oh,
They
yeah.
like painted jeans, and those were super fun and it like individualized for them.
Oh, it's the Rio Grande. It's that's where the noise. They started early ahead of this barebow gold medal match in the mixed teams here at Collegiate Target Nationals, brought to you by Hotel Planner. The 2025 edition here from Lansing, Michigan.
It sounds like this could be a rowdy match between the two schools.
Yeah, as I say, they have started early.
I'm not sure. Is this Rio Grande's first year as a program? I believe it is.
They were at 3D,
Yes.
so they were at Collegiate 3D. So I think this is their first full year.
Yeah, they've came on strong this year, and they've recruited a bunch for next year. So I'm excited to watch that program grow.
Jonathan Clemens, who had great success with the US Paralympic team in Paris last year, 2 golds. Matt Stutzman and Jason Tabansky. Yeah, so Rio Grande have got the face paint and Pikeville have got the shorts.
Representing University of Rio Grande.
Is it NASCAR?
It looks like
shorts?
NASCAR, yeah.
Yeah.
And on target 2, representing University of Pikeville, Kennedy Mayer and John Stevens. Your line up for the match, Bobby Joe Borda.
At least the sun has came out a little bit today.
Yeah,
It has been a chilly weekend in Michigan.
it has been, for those just joining us, we've been told by locals it is unseasonably cold.
Number 6,
It's a very kind of precise, controlled build-up from Mo and then a very quick release.
Yes. For sure, and they were good on Tom, so
John Shelby Stevens
with the 4.
trying to get a sighter in there, starting with a 4. Kennedy Mayer.
Number 9,
There probably is a little bit of extra rivalry here. As I say, they've got a few former University of Pikeville folks now with Rio Grande.
Rio
So with the bow hunter match, it was cumulative score, and here it will be set points. So I believe it's whoever gets to 5 set points first will be the winner of this match. If they win a set, they get 2 points. If they tie, they get 1. Or if they lose, they get 0 points.
The U-Pike chant going up behind us.
Pikeville with the 7.
Upgrade from his 4, so he's looking to settle into the matches. John Stevens.
Maybe get those first round nerves out.
Number 6,
Yeah, so it looked like both teams had like 10 seconds left. So typically with barebow, they seem to be a little bit quicker and get on and off the line and get their shot off quicker. So they shouldn't have an issue with the Tom line here.
So we might not see so many issues with the clock. We've not seen a yellow card there, so they're settling in. John Saracen, for those that follow the collegiate scene, I think similar to Trenton Cowles, the longer locks in their days. Their hair was a little longer, but he's now gone for the short back and sides approach.
the long hair was in style for a while, and still is with some people, I guess. But for a while, there was a lot of guys on the scene that had the long hair.
Yeah, I don't have the luxury of choosing, to be fair.
And it looks like Rowe will get those set points for the first round.
And with Mo's hair, it's looking wonderful. She just kind of ducked down there to pick up her bow, and just the glitter in the hair was catching the sun. So Rio Grande taking that first set, 2-0. So just wait for the field to be cleared. John Shelby Stevens. And you can probably hear University of Pikeville teammates referring to him as Shelby, so we'll go with that.
And we'll have Pikeville up first.
It's a 3.
So I'm intrigued. Were you one of the more vocal when you were at college? Were you the quieter ones? Were you leading the charge? Where did you fit in that?
Definitely a quieter one. I'm never one to be leading the chants or yelling for the most part.
As Trenton was saying, even with his back to them, he could tell exactly who was making all the noise.
Yes. That's one fun thing about Collegiate Nationals is like all the teams get rowdy and cheer for their teammates, and it's super fun. It makes the experience way noisier and fun.
Sarah's in with a 4. A bit of a grimace on his face.
And a 7.
7 for Mo. Shelby Stevens back on the line. Points to make up, having lost the first set, Pikeville. We'll have compound after this, and wrapping it all up on a busy morning here in Lansing, Michigan with recurve. And I think we just had another issue with the clocks.
Yes.
And there was fixed pins thinking it was just them.
Looks like it could be an ongoing thing today for the rest of the mixed team.
Yeah, because I'm not sure we had it with the individual matches this
I
morning.
don't know
So
if it's because like it stops in the middle of their time and then they need to start it back from where it stops at. As to where the individual, it's 20 seconds per arrow and it just runs down. So that could be it.
And it's a 6.
now Rio Grande just having their time reset. We thought having you alongside it would be a lovely clash of the accents, you see.
Yes, for sure. We have opposite accents.
I love it when people say, you've got an accent. I'm like, so have you.
Do you get that a lot?
To my ears, you've got an accent, yeah.
Yes. Sometimes I'll go places and they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Kentucky."
Well, you
Like
said,
I know you can hear it.
and is it kind of a knowing, where are you from? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was walking through the hotel lobby last night. I had to go through a group of young women that were young girls that are having photos taken. I think it was prom. And they allow me to go through in between photos, and I'm walking through saying, "Oh, thank you very much." And then I heard one of them going, trying to put on a mock British accent. "Thank you." I said, "No, just keep walking. Don't turn around. Don't
Like,
encourage
this is my
them."
actual accent.
I wasn't putting that on.
Yeah, they probably thought you were.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get the clocks. Yep.
Okay, we're back up and running. John Sarrazin then for University of Rio Grande. Just one final check with the judge, and he's ready to go. And the volume increases.
Raya with an 8.
An 8 for Sarrazin. Satisfied with that.
And a 7.
And 7 for Monaya. Something I mentioned to Trenton, again, somebody that has pulled on the collegiate jersey and the national jersey. For you, was it a different kind of sense? Was it a different kind of expectation when you were representing your country over your college? Was there a different kind of pressure?
It definitely, in the back of your mind, it's definitely a little bit of added pressure because you obviously want to like do good for your country and for yourself and the team. So there's more, and usually you're international, so that adds a few challenges to it. Time zone differences, different food, like everybody speaks a different language. It definitely adds different challenges to it as to collegiate tournaments, but they're definitely still both nerve-wracking sometimes.
Well, I imagine because again, it's very partisan, the rivalry, and you're not wanting to let your country down, but you're not wanting to let
Your
your teammates down
yeah.
who are right across the way chanting.
Yeah. College archery is definitely makes you think of archery as like a team sport rather than an individual sport. So that is something pretty cool about it because usually at other tournaments, like archery's individual and it's just you and your bow. But for here, there's a lot more people like rooting for you and on the same team as you.
And you've won on this stage. Your gold medal, was it last year?
Yeah.
Against Carson, wasn't it?
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
In the compound division, Carson Cray winning gold earlier today for Texas A&M.
That's pretty cool. Back-to-back gold medal matches for her at this tournament.
Yeah, we can just see them in the background. They're getting ready to come into the arena shortly. And that's quite a team. Carson Cray and Sawyer Sullivan, 2 gold medalists from earlier today, individual. A 4-0 lead for Rio Grande.
Raya with an 8, 4 set points to 0. You'd like to see first.
So UPAC will need to get these set points or at least tie it to stay in the match here.
We've got all kinds of sound effects going on behind us now as well. So it's fantastic. It really is. And as I said before, the collegiate competition, it's the atmosphere and the energy. Kennedy, Naya for University of Pikeville. Ground to make up for these two.
And UPAC with a 9.
John Sarrazin stepping forward for Rio Grande. 4-0 advantage. Words of encouragement from Mo Naya, just a couple of feet behind.
And Raya with a 5.
That is one good thing about this. Like you can hear whoever's your teammate behind you talking you through the shot and kind of like words of encouragement. So sometimes that really helps as to not just your coach, but also a teammate behind you cheering you on and helping you get through the arrow.
How are you like in those situations? Do you prefer less chatter, more chatter, a certain type of chatter? What are you wanting from somebody behind?
Yeah, really just like the person behind you telling you to stay strong and like a quick shot, pull through your shot, pick a spot and go, or stare at the middle, anything like that.
7 for Shelby Stevens. Pat on the shoulder from the coach's box. 15 seconds for Kennedy. Six, five, gets it away.
Number 7.
High fives all round.
They seem happy with that round.
And that seems to be the breeze picking up a little bit more, as you can hear from our microphones.
Ryo shoots 7, Archery 8.
7, so a 5 and a 7. So Sarazen's second arrow seemed to be, he gets that first one as the sighter, and the second one he increases by a few points, it seems to be.
And a 2, Archery 1.
Let's just see what's coming up after this one. This is the barebow division, to be followed by compound, Rio Grande, and Texas A&M, and then recurve, Texas A&M and Columbia University. So 2 big matches coming up as well. And Catalina Ginoriega, Venu Kunavakam for Texas A&M. Joshua Beck and Judith Gottlieb, who was part of the women's recurve gold medalists. And Joshua Beck was silver medalist earlier on. Alex Gilliam taking gold for Texas A&M. And then Matea Metcalf and Colton Green against Carson Cray and Sawyer Sullivan. That'll be the next match coming your way in the compound division. Rio Grande against Texas A&M.
Those will definitely be good matchups.
And Carson's silver medal on the World Cup stage last week as a compound archer. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, she shot amazing over there. I don't think they had great conditions over there either, so I think it was pretty windy. So it was definitely a good, that's an awesome World Cup medal to come off of, and then to come here and win, that's got to be a huge confidence booster.
And I know, talking to Trenton, who was with us a little earlier, you know the jet lag. A big part of archery is the focus, it's the concentration,
Yeah.
and if you're suffering from jet lag, just those momentary lapses during qualification, during elimination, can be big factors.
Yes, for sure. That was a 12-hour time difference from where I live, so maybe right around 12 hours for Carson as well. So that was probably a big adjustment to get back to, and then to travel all the way here and be ready and focused.
Yeah, I think she did say she'd completely crashed out Wednesday. Wednesday was just...
She'd had enough.
She was done. The body was telling her she needed rest. So she seems to have got that.
Yes. And it looks like University of Parkville got those set points. So it's 4-2.
And Shelby Stevens with a strong start. The expression seems to have changed a little bit with Rio Grande. They just a bit more focused in the zone for John Saracen and Mo Naya.
And Pikeville adds a 4.
A 4 for Kennedy. And Saracen steps to the line.
Ryo shoots an 8.
An 8 for Saracen. Strong start for him as well. What can we get from Mo Naya? Just to put the pressure back on University of Pikeville.
Number 3.
Looking at the body language here, who's on the ascendancy? Which of these teams? Looks like Rio Grande seem to be a little bit I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just maybe my imagination, but they seem the Pikeville seem to be a little bit more relaxed. Maybe they're
Yes.
because they're chasing the game.
Yes, for sure. This is where Rio Grande knows that they have to shoot good arrows, and you probably, like, I don't know, I guess they feel like they're playing catch up, but that it's doable right now. So they're definitely, they definitely have high spirits about it. That looked like a good shot.
Could be a big arrow from Mo Nyatt.
Yes.
Number 7.
Suggestion is it's not over.
No, definitely not.
Rio Grande have got teammates waiting to come up next in the compound division. As you say, it's a strong program. Really hit the ground running, Rio Grande under Jonathan Clemens.
They did for sure. Definitely not an easy task to get a program up and running and get all the archers there.
And it's been confirmed, Rio Grande are the gold medal winners in the bare bow division. Mo Nyatt and John Sarrazin, they turn to the crowd. Hand on her heart for Mo Nyatt. It was a moment. Shelby Stevens, Kennedy Meyer, worthy silver medalists. Great performance from them as well. And we will see Rio Grande stepping forward in just a few moments for the compound division. But for now, they take gold in bareboat. Jonathan Clemens coming over, embracing his team.
And your bareboat mixed team national champions, University of Rio Grande, Mo Nyatt, John Sarrazin.
There was a moment there. They had to wait, didn't they? They weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't entirely sure.
There was a moment of relief after the arrows were scored and they realized they had won. It can be a nervous few moments or few seconds while they're scoring if it's a close match like that. When the match can be determined or then you're tied and you have to shoot a whole nother round.
And we're going to try and roll into the third of the 4 mixed teams gold medal matches. And a team that we've seen quite a bit, Texas A&M. And up against Rio Grande, who we've just seen take gold in barebow. This is the compound division. This is a division you know extremely well. Was compound always your discipline? Did you work on other disciplines as well?
I shot bow hunter for my first 3 years of college archery, and then I switched to compound my last 2 years. So I shot bow hunter and compound, but never bare bow or recurve.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the thinking behind that switch?
So when I first came into college, the best choice for me was to shoot bow hunter because I wasn't super experienced. But I ended up switching to like the pro class and the ASA divisions and like indoor, and I shot senior at all the USAT divisions. So I didn't really want to continue to shoot bow hunter in college and be shooting at the pro level and everything else. It just
Right.
kind of was, it was hard to switch back and forth, and it just didn't seem like, I don't know, ideal. So that's when I made the switch to compound.
And
And-
how's Landon doing? Is his first year, is it? Freshman?
Yeah, he's a freshman this year. He's definitely not had the year he had hoped, but it's not been bad. He's going to work on some few things, and hopefully next year's better. I think he's ready for some USATs this summer, maybe some ASAs.
And who gives him those pointers? Yourself or your dad?
Not me. He probably more my dad.
Okay.
He's the one giving me pointers, even though he's younger. He's been in it longer than me.
And he's heading to Canada as well, isn't he, Landon?
No, he's not. He actually just went to China for the World Cup with
Yes.
Carson. Yes. but he's not going to Canada, unfortunately.
So World Cup experience, but fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
again, you know, it's that experience on that grand stage.
It's definitely something different. There's nothing quite like it.
And we were talking about John Sarrazin. Landon's another one that's gone for the shorter hair.
Yes, he has.
So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I was shocked. He FaceTimed me the day he got a haircut, and I was like, whoa, you didn't even tell me you were getting a haircut, but I
dear.
like it. It
oh
looks
dear.
good.
He didn't tell his sister he was getting his hair cut.
No, he surprised me. But this should be a good match for sure.
No, this really is going to be something special. Mattia Metcalf, Colton Green, University of Rio Grande, Texas A&M, Carson Cray, gold medal winner already today, as is Sawyer Sullivan.
For this, we'll go back to cumulative scoring, and they'll shoot 4 rounds. And it will be whoever scores the highest out of those 4 rounds will be the winner of this.
And on target 2, representing Texas A&M University, Carson Craig and Sawyer Sullivan. Your line judge for the match, Brad Planning.
In the coach's box for Rio Grande is Jonathan Clemens. Jack Krengle is in the corner for Texas A&M. Rio Grande will get us underway. I recall Carson's victory was a little bit more straightforward. Sawyer had to grind it out in his game.
Yes, that came down to the last few arrows for that match.
Against Jared Laux. Back and forth. It's, Sawyer's experience.
Ryle opens with a 9.
Strong start there from Mattia.
And now we have Colton Green out. He's a super accomplished archer that made the Vegas shoot down this year.
Number 10. A&M with a 10.
Carson Cray starting with the 10. How important as we see Sawyer step up to the line. Obviously for Colton and Mattia, this is their first arrows in this arena today. For Carson and Sawyer, they've both been here this morning already. Does that count for anything? Do the conditions change? How much does that have an impact?
It could have changed it a little, but it's definitely an advantage. Like they've already been on this side of the field and seen the wind, as to where Colton and Mattia haven't been on this side of the field yet. So Carson and Sawyer definitely have the advantage here, where they've seen the wind, and it could have changed a little, but probably not too much. And we have a yellow card here. He handled that well. He still has plenty of time.
And Ryle with a 9.
I think it was a yellow card for pulling his arrow too early, like we saw earlier. So he just had to drop it and then pick it back up once he crossed the line.
So just to be clear, they've got to cross the line, then pick the arrow. They can't have the arrow in their hand as they're crossing the line.
Yes. It has to remain in the quiver when they're crossing the line.
And it is about, I mean, you're saving seconds. That crossing over, that knowing when to step into the zone and onto the shooting line, you can save yourself some crucial seconds in that. So
Yes.
again, how much do you work on that? Is that movement, that on and off the line, that can save you 5 or 6 seconds that could be important?
Yeah, it can definitely come into play, because you'd rather have the time to like actually make your shot good instead of wasting all your time on getting on and off the line. So it's definitely important to practice before you get here.
And I've seen, you know, members of you know, the USAT, the USA team, that have been practicing ahead of events, and there's communication. It's not just visibly watching somebody step off the line. It's somebody, you know, and so who's making that call? Is it the person coming in or the person leaving? In other words, yep, making that. communication, that noise to suggest that they're clearing the area. So who's communicating?
I think the person that's coming on the lawn, it's super important to watch the person coming off the lawn and to watch for their cue, to watch them clear that lawn to know that they're good.
Right.
That's what I always watch for, is to watch them cross it, and then that's when you know you're good.
And there's more factors. There are more factors here. It's, the position of your feet and
Yes.
removing the arrow from the quiver. There's the clock.
Yeah.
So again, if you're not used to this format, it can be a little confusing early on, as we saw in the fixed pins.
Yeah, even who goes first and who goes second here, like that can be confusing. Somebody might not be comfortable going last or might not be comfortable going first. So you have to try all your options and see what the best option is.
We're all square. 38-38.
Square at 38 points apiece. Rio to keep first.
He said it was going to be close.
Yes, for sure. They'll definitely have to fight for every arrow in these conditions.
Rio opens with a 7.
A nod from the judge there as Colton steps onto the line. And Colton Green with a 10. The yellow card doesn't seem to have put him off his stride. In the background, the recurve teams are just marching to the waiting area. That'll be coming up shortly. Texas A&M, Columbia University will wrap things up for the 2025 Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals. But we are in the midst of this compound final.
Number 9.
9 for Sawyer Sullivan. He's just trying to get some feedback from Jack Kringle in the coach's box as to a shake of the head from Sawyer Sullivan.
He's one that's also had a long few weeks coming back from China, the World Cup as well. So they're both still trying to get adjusted to the time zone and rested. I'm sure that was big for them this week.
What was key for you? Hydration, sleep,
And Rio adds
food? I mean, what was the most important thing to get right?
Definitely all of it. Definitely sleep, food, hydration, like it all comes into play. Like you definitely want to be able to feel your best, to be able to shoot your best.
A&M with a 9.
9 for Carson Cray. And were there coping mechanisms? In other words, when you're on the line and you're going through an event where there's a quick turnaround, was there a coping mechanism? If you could feel yourself beginning to struggle from the effects of travel, did you allow yourself, did you have a way of trying to reset the body to try and kind of wake yourself up again?
Yeah, not really. Just to push through it, suffer through it, and then rest that night and be ready for the next day, really.
Well, and again, it is the mental exertion of
Yes.
archery over sustained periods of time where you need that concentration and focus. I think Sawyer Sullivan may have been happy with that second arrow. He's taking a look, seeing where they've both settled. So all square after the first end, 38 apiece. It's gone a little quieter.
It has.
It's like a parent with his children. When it goes quiet, you're wondering what they're up to.
Yeah. Colton has a gallon of sweet tea.
He's keeping hydrated, if that's the right word.
I think I've seen him at a few other events with a gallon of sweet tea, so it must be his favorite.
Just waiting for them to update the scores. Two points the difference. Texas A&M 76, Rio Grande 74. So Matea and Colton will go first this third end.
As you can hear, all their teammates are up against the fence cheering their teammates on.
Fourth end, third end, third end, third end.
Yeah,
Yes,
this will be the third end.
Yes.
Yep. So they'll have this one and then one more end.
Okay. We're ready.
And after 3 ends in the lead, we have Texas A&M with 76 and University of Rio Grande.
2 points the difference then. Staring down, Matea, focused. She steps onto the line.
Rio with the 7.
Colton and Matea seem to have the face paint and the face glitter on.
And a 9.
9 for Colton. Yeah, one's gone for the glitter, yeah. Matea's gone for the glitter, Colton's gone for the face paint.
A&M with a 9.
9 for Carson Cray.
And that out for Texas A&M.
This would be big to pick up points here for Rio Grande.
Rio Grande from Ohio.
Rio shoots a 7.
7 for Matea. That's going to lose him some crucial seconds.
For sure.
And a 9, possibly a 10.
He did well though, did well to recover.
He still had a few seconds to spare. Sawyer seems relaxed, singing the chants with him.
And a 10.
He has 30 seconds. He has plenty of time here.
Well, I know Carson's also a singer as well. She'll be singing away on the line
Yes.
and dancing as well if she can get away with it.
She always seems to have fun. So they'll have one more end for score after this.
So Rio Grande getting gold in the barebow division for mixed teams. Looking to follow up with more success here. But of course the pair from Texas A&M already gold medalists today in the individual competition. Irrespective, as we said, it's incredible the speed at which Rio Grande have got up and running, that they're competing with the likes of Texas A&M.
Yes, for sure.
And Jonathan Clemens having done a wonderful job. Big smile there from Carson Cray. She turned to look at her teammates in the stands. Now, thanks, I've got to go to Michigan State University and Lansing Sports Commission, who've been wonderful hosts over the last few days. They really have. Putting on a fabulous show. So we thank them for that, and all the volunteers and staff and judges and parents, and of course the archers that have made it all possible. And they brought the glitter, and they brought the colour, and they brought the noise, and they brought some top quality archery as well. point difference now. That's a big, big gap.
After 3 ends, Texas A&M in the lead with 115 to 106.
That is a big gap. If it's just 2 or 3 points, that's usually not enough to be like, okay, we will probably be okay. But 9 points, that makes you feel a little bit more comfort if you're Texas A&M in this end.
And they've just got to match whatever Rio Grande throw at them.
Rio opens with an 8, possibly a 9.
An 8-9 liner. I suspect nothing short of maximum, just to put any kind of pressure onto Texas A&M.
Yeah, for sure.
Texas A&M in full voice. Little tap of the fist there between Carson Cray and Sawyer Sullivan. And he came back for a more robust pump, fist bump there. I think he thought he realised his first one was maybe not quite good enough. But they are certainly in the box seat, Carson and Sawyer. A 10 from Mattia. Strong finish from Rio Grande. And a strong display over the last few days from Jonathan Clemens' team. But it looks like it's going to be heading the way of Texas A&M in the compound mixed team gold medal match. The last 2 arrows of the match. And the last arrow for what has been a busy spell for both Carson and Sawyer.
Yes.
Internationally, collegiately. An X, I believe, from Carson Cray.
That's a good way to end the weekend. So they'll have double gold medals.
Number 9.
9 for Sawyer Sullivan. And that will be enough for Texas A&M to take another gold and another gold for the individual gold medalists, Carson Cray and Sawyer Sullivan. Silver to Rio Grande, having taken gold in the bareboat, Mateo Metcalf and Colton Green. And a big embrace from their head coach, Jonathan Clemens.
Sawyer and Carson are singing along with them again. For the archers that make mixed team and team rounds, it's definitely a lot of arrows, especially Sawyer and Carson were both in gold medal matches, so they had to shoot qualification all the way through eliminations, all the way through team eliminations, and now all the way through mixed team eliminations. So if you're one of the archers in those positions, it's definitely a lot of arrows for the weekend and can be rough on you. So I'm sure they're exhausted.
Well, they're having a good old sing-song now. And there is confirmation. The winners, Texas A&M, Carson Cray and Sawyer Sullivan, gold medalists in the compound mixed team. And another one there to take home. So one more match that we have coming up. Mixed team, recurve, Texas A&M against Columbia University. And 2 big programs once again. Texas A&M, Catalina Ginoriega and Venu Kunavakam, who took Trenton Cowell's national record, collegiate record in recurve on Friday. Something he was keen to tell me yesterday. To go with his barebow national record that he got last year.
So he has both national records.
He has both
That's
national
pretty cool.
records. And Trenton was like, okay, well, I'm I'm done with college, but maybe I can reclaim it at the World University Games.
Yeah, maybe.
So that is Trenton Cowell's motivation.
Yes, for sure, to get that national record back.
And then Josh Beck and Judith Gottlieb for Columbia University. So again, we should have another high quality, high caliber competition coming up. The
Yes.
last one. Is it still morning? I've lost track of. Yeah, it is still
Barely,
morning here
yeah.
on the East Coast. It's early morning on the West Coast. So if you're just waking up, welcome. As I said earlier, it's not a warm welcome. We offer a warm welcome, but we are not physically feeling the warmth here. It's
No, it has been cold this weekend.
it has been a little chilly. Yesterday there were high winds, and you know, when you look back on this competition as a whole, you must miss the competition. But would you have missed days like yesterday?
No, not at all. Luckily, at all my collegiate outdoor nationals, it was never this cold or windy, so I can't complain there. I was not sad. I wasn't sad that I wasn't shooting yesterday. I was completely okay with not shooting yesterday with the conditions.
And I made the mistake, and of course, I made the mistake of saying to Caitlin earlier, "So do you prefer the rain or do you prefer playing in the wind?" Of course, she's like, "Of course I prefer the rain. What archer wants more wind? I mean, for goodness sakes."
Yeah, the collegiate archers can't seem to catch a break. At 3D Nationals this year, it rained, and then at this one, it was cold and windy. So maybe they'll have good weather next year.
Yeah, I always make that mistake when archers say, "So how are you?" So, yeah, could be a little bit, could have a bit more of a breeze just to cool me down. And they're like, "Really?
No.
You want more of a?"
There's some archers that love the wind, that like they know they shoot better in the wind, so they'd rather have that. And then there's some archers that hate the wind, and that I'm one of those archers. I'd rather it be calm.
That's just me being an idiot, forgetting who I'm talking to. Archers that want just calm.
There are some that like the wind.
I'm
but-
just purely from a selfish standpoint, I'd like to be just the right temperature and maybe a breeze if I can catch a break. So we're getting set. We're getting set for recurve. So, of course, there's a slight delay as they push the targets back to 70 meters.
This round will go back to set points. So whoever scores the highest will get set points, and if they win, it's 2 points. And if they tie, they get 1 set point, and then whoever loses gets 0 set points for that round, and whoever gets to 5 set points first will win.
And we've also, we are seeing medalists that have already been out here this morning. Catalina got gold in individual recurve, and Joshua got silver, losing to Alex Gilliam. So gives you a sense that at least one. And how would that work? You know, obviously we saw Carson and Sawyer who had both been out here this morning.
Yeah.
There's one each from each team. And how much does the other archers, how much as the other archer do you want, you know, this is what the conditions were like, and how much can you give that information?
Yeah, I mean, from what I could tell, the wind on where they were practicing at didn't seem as much as it is down here. So the archers that have been already down here shooting medal matches this morning probably went back and told their teammate, like, hey, this is what I noticed with the wind. I would suggest doing this, like either aiming off or moving your side or whatever that archer prefers. That's definitely an advantage for both sides that they have at least one archer that's already been out here today.
Well, Judith was part of the women's recurve team that won yesterday, and I was watching as they were walking back, and it was confirmed that they'd won, and the rest of the teammates went out to join them in celebration. And what started out as an organised hug ended with them all falling over one of the number, the target numbers that are on the floor. So they all ended up in a laughing. There was nobody injured, thankfully, but ended up in a huddle on the floor, and then the tears flowed. Judith was, and I'm not 100% sure. Maybe this is her last year.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure.
The emotions were flowing from Judith. Yesterday, and people were saying, "Get a photo, get a photo." So, well, no, because it could be misconstrued that she's upset. No, they're happy tears.
Yeah.
I said, I know they're happy tears, but.
There's usually a lot of happy tears at this last event of the year for these collegiate teams.
So Judith again, high emotion yesterday from her. She's alongside Joshua Beck today, who's, as you say, already got a silver. Catalina and Venu are on this near side as we are sat. They are on target number 1. Columbia on target number 2. And Texas A&M with Trenton Cowles, who joined us earlier this morning, is in the coach's box. Derek Davis, again, highly experienced, hugely respected. I remember watching him last year. He didn't have the cap on, and he had the I think it was the lion's paw in blue paint on the top of his head.
Yes, he did. He was all in the school spirit.
He was quite happy to go along with it.
A&M opens with an 8, possibly a 9.
8-9 liner for Venny.
And a 9.
That was a good start for Texas A&M.
Columbia with an 8.
Beck started with an 8. And Judith, who out of the 4 has not been out here this morning. By that, Venu was in the coach's box, so he's been on this stage, not competing this morning, but he's been out here. And how much of that, again, is feeling that elevation of intensity, even if you're not shooting, but you've been out here soaking it up.
Yeah, for sure. That can play a role in it as well.
A&M with an 8.
An 8 from Venu again. 8-9 liner to start, so we'll see what that one turns out to be.
Even the teams chanting can throw some archers off if they've never experienced all the yelling before, because that's not usually how archery tournaments are. So it can definitely be
And a 9.
another element to get used to and just shoot through. And some archers love that, and some archers would rather it be quiet. So it's whatever they prefer. Just either ignore it or embrace it and go on.
And how much of that is an exercise? Because as you say, you come out
Yep.
here, you've got the clock, you've got the shouting, you've got the wind, you've got any other a number of distractions. How is that in terms of trying to block it all out? And is there one thing that you used to do that kind of sharpened the focus?
I'm one that I just try to like tone it all out and focus on like my shot and the target and making it work, but really not getting caught up in all the noise and everything else that's going on around. That it's just like qualification, just you and the target. That's what I always remind myself, that it's no different. Even if there are plenty of other elements going on, it's still the same shot, same process you have to run.
Sounds like being a parent, just blocking out all the chaos that's going on around you.
Most of the time when you're in these medal matches, it goes by so fast that, like, I heard a comment earlier from one of the archers. She was like, yeah, I think I blacked out. Like, I don't even remember it. It went by so fast. And I was like, it really does.
Well, and how much, as your collegiate career progressed, how much of that were you able to block out early on? And then as you got into your collegiate career, how much of it did you want to experience? In other words, some of those great moments, those memorable moments, people often say can go by in a flash and you don't remember them.
Yeah.
How much did you consciously try to remember, try to soak up and take in more?
Yeah, my first, like, freshman, sophomore, junior year, not so much. But, like, by the end of junior year, I was like, okay, this is going by way too fast. So I shot all 5 years at the University of the Cumberlands, and it all went by way too fast.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was a freshman yesterday. So I think a lot of the archers feel the same way, that, like, it just goes by too fast.
And they often say that, those big moments, you're in the thick of it, you're in the eye of the storm, and it is about taking those moments just to take it in and take a deep breath and look around you. So maybe in these moments, it's not a bad thing to be distracted. Because in being distracted, you're taking in some of this great atmosphere that we can hear going on behind us. So Texas A&M take a 2-0 lead after that first set. So playing catch up, Columbia University. Joshua Beck will take to the line. And Judith, again, is one of those that's more often than not has got a wonderful smile across her face. But it's the game face on at the moment for Joshua and Judith. And Vanu Kunavakam getting ready to step onto the line. The barebow collegiate national champion, national record holder. And he took Trenton's
Columbia opens with a 9.
collegiate recurve record this week. And of course, it's always a little awkward when you've got the person alongside you. So I said to Trenton, yeah, Venu's got that. Yeah, it was mine.
Yeah, when you set those records, you hate to see them get broken. Like, it's awesome, but you also hate to see them get broken.
Just by a point, but it was broken all the same.
Yep. There was World University Game team trials here at qualification, and it looks like Vanu, Trenton, Alex Gillum, and Catalina all made it. So they will go to Germany this summer. So that will be super awesome for them.
An incredibly strong team.
Yes, for sure. I know that was a big goal for some of the archers coming here this weekend. Like, they just wanted to make World University Games, and some of them did that, so that's exciting.
So do you get to fly home from here?
No, we drove. So we'll drive home tomorrow. Did you fly?
Yes, I've been in the States 12 years. The idea of driving long distances still hasn't quite anything over 3 hours, and no, there's got to be an easier way.
I don't blame you. Usually for us, anything over 10 or 12 we'll fly, but if it's under that, we drive, unfortunately.
Yeah, if we're traveling 10 hours, it's normally a vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the other thing, of course, with the collegiate life is, you know, there's a lot of time together, whether it's on the bus
Yep.
to the event, from the event, in the hotels, wherever it
Practice.
is, and
Yep.
you can't help but create that bond, and we can hear that in abundance behind us. And even time to join in the chanting for Catalina and Venu. And I know some of these colleges, some of the archers, they design their uniforms. What was it like for University of the Cumberlands? Who designed the gear?
For the most part, the coaches. Like, sometimes they'll get the input from some of the older ones on the team, or maybe all the team, on like the jerseys, on what they like. But they usually only update their jerseys like every few years. So I don't know. I think that's the case for most colleges, that like they only update them every few years, since they don't have their exact names on them. On the back, it's just like the college. I know at Cumberland's you like get them for the tournament and then turn them back in, and the coaches watch them. So I think at most schools they probably just keep them for like the whole year while they're at the college, and I guess every college just does it differently.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting to see all the different jerseys.
Yeah,
and
some of the designs as well.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is, you know, Rio Grande, and you again, that process of getting up and running, it's everything. It's colours, it's logos, it's jersey style, it's obviously putting the team together as well. And I know, speaking to some of the archers, they've had a hand in creating and designing. So
yeah,
it
that's
really
fine.
is. It's not just the competition.
There's way more behind the scenes.
You're creating what you're wearing, what that being part of that team means. So
It looks like Texas A&M got that set as well, so it'll be 4-0. And Columbia will try to climb back in this set.
the chant, "Let's go A&M." A chance to a little smile to the crowd from Catalina.
Columbia with a 9.
9 for Columbia and Joshua.
Number 7.
It was a 7. It was called there for Judith.
A&M with a 9.
9 for Venu. Well, also must thank you, Madison, for joining us. You were stopped as you walked into the arena this morning,
Yeah.
and you were kind of, as I said to the others, you were voluntold.
I don't think this is necessarily my strong suit.
No, you
but
have been outstanding. So thank you. You've carried me for the last couple of hours, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I enjoy all aspects of archery, so it's
Right.
fun to do something new.
Well, and it's bringing your expertise and your insight and all of your experiences, and obviously you've been in their position many, many times. So it's great to get that kind of insight.
Yeah, for sure.
And say hello to your dad when you see him.
I will.
Always, none of them
They
are
do.
giving anything away.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything from any of them.
None of them
They
are
do.
giving anything away.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything from any of them. Except Catalina explaining the wind in that last shot, probably. Is what it looks like she was doing. Looks like there might be some arrow calls down there, some close
Okay,
ones.
That's hence the delay.
Yeah.
Okay, they're now totting up the score for Colombia. And target number 2.
From all the archers' reactions, it looks like there might be another round, but I think they all have a good poker face, so I'm not sure.
Okay, Trenton with a thumbs up.
He thinks they're
Yes,
good. Oh, yep.
and it's done.
They
It's
got
confirmed.
it.
Texas A&M. That was maybe a longer wait than any of us expected.
Yeah.
But Trenton Cowles maybe had some inside knowledge. So Texas A&M with the win and the gold medal. Another goal for Catalina Di Noriega and the national record holder, Venu Kunavakam. And now comes the dancing. But also congratulations, wonderful congratulations to Columbia University.
Yes.
Joshua Beck walks away with 2 silvers. Judith, a gold and a silver, team gold in the women's recurve. And I know, having seen her reaction yesterday, it meant a great deal to her.
Yes, for sure. All these archers are walking away with some medals for the weekend. That's always a good feeling.
And celebrations will continue for Texas A&M. Well, Madison, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
of
joining
course.
us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Our next events, of course, coming thick and fast over the next few weeks. We've got the USA Archery Field Nationals in Noblesville, Indiana. usarchery.org for registration details on that. Our next broadcast will be the SoCal Showdown. That's the third of 4 USAT events. Again, you can register for that one at usarchery.org. Thanks to everyone that's been with us over the last few days. That is the volunteers, the staff, the officials, of course, the parents and archers. Our thanks to Michigan State University and to the Lansing Sports Commission and to our sponsors of the event, Hotel Planner. From us all in Lansing, Michigan, from the 2025 Hotel Planner USA Archery Collegiate Target Nationals. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.